Not many teams, when the calendar turns to November, can say that they control their own destiny to get into their conference title game. But that's the lay of the land for the Texas Tech Red Raiders as they visit Manhattan, Kansas, a place that has not been very kind and gentle to them in recent history. But this is a very different Texas Tech side. And by the way, carnage continues in the Big 12. Houston's having real trouble with West Virginia today. Utah and Cincinnati later, a very interesting game. But today, in a pretty raucous environment, Texas Tech is as close to full strength as they have been in a while. Thanks for joining us. Jason Benetti, Robert Griffin III, Alexa Landestoy is downstairs in the fall chill here today in Kansas. Good news for Texas Tech, though, is Baron Morton, their leader, their quarterback, is back.
Exactly, Jason. Baron Morton is back. Their quarterback, the guy whose swag, his arm talent, and his leadership they have desperately missed over the last few weeks. Not only is he the key to what they can do, their coach, Joey McGuire, said that with him on the field, they believe they can beat anybody in the nation, and they haven't lost a game yet with him at QB.
So he's the one guy offensively that they have back. The 11 guys on defense sometimes feel like 15.
Yes, it does, and it's all about their pass rush. This ain't your grandpappy's Texas Tech, all right? This team can run the football dominantly, and they are a force on defense. Talking about David Bailey, I call him the boogeyman. He's got a first step faster than you can blink, leads the country in sacks with 10.5. And don't you forget about his partner on the other side, Jacob Rodriguez. I call him the ball magnet. This guy's got 5 forced fumbles, which is tied for the lead in the country, and his 2 interceptions have been picture perfect. Texas Tech has everything they need to go and accomplish all of their dreams with the Big 12 title and a possible college football championship. They just have to get over this hump right here in Manhattan.
You know, the funny thing is about the Big 12 title game is Kansas State, after starting 1-3, still has an outside shot at getting in there. We saw the 2-loss whole quagmire last year. Kansas State, what have they done to get back into this?
Yeah, this team is one of the hottest teams in the country, and they're the team you don't want to play right now because they're turning the football over on defense. 12 turnovers in the last 4 games, and their quarterback, Avery Johnson, is finally using his legs more and showing that he is one of the fastest dual-threat quarterbacks in the country. For them to win today, he has to have a special game, maybe like he did a couple years ago when he pulled off 5 rushing touchdowns.
5 rushing touchdowns very much makes you smile. That's your type of day. Our game countdown sponsored by Progressive. Texas Tech and Kansas State, and a big one in the Little Apple. Morton is back for Texas Tech quarterbacking. It takes a fleet of people to stop him from playing. Alexa Landestoy.
People were waiting to hear that their starting quarterback would return to action, and in talking to Baron Morton yesterday, he wanted to return immediately following re-aggravating that Week 1 injury 3 weeks ago. He didn't want to miss a moment of the action, but the coaches, the training staff, they held him out. They wanted their quarterback to heal up and be ready to go down the stretch. They circled this K-State game on their calendar. This is the plan for his return all along. They feel like everything is in front of them, and Robert, you touched on it. Their quarterback is the key to unlocking everything they want to achieve this season. And JB, for a guy who's been plagued with injuries throughout his college career, Baron said this is just another bump in the road and a chapter to his story.
And the chapter that starts now with the tire on the sideline is November, and November is different in college football, especially in this expanded playoff era. You've got to win your league, and Texas Tech is trying to win that league. Baron Morton, the leg injury, triceps injury, he's been through all of it, and Texas Tech needs him to get there, especially with the injury to Will Hamilton.
Yeah, and I think they realized that over the last few weeks with him being out. The swagger that he brings elevates the game of everyone, not just on offense, but on the defensive side of the football. As you can see his numbers there, completing the ball at a high rate, 68%, the 13 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. And he and this receiver corps are so excited to come out here today and attack this Kansas State defense.
I bet you he's throwing it here. Well, let's see. Yeah, he's going to throw it. Jacoby Williams, get him an easy one to get him underway, and Baron Morton's got a quick 6.5. The tackle for Des Purnell. It's an offensive line that's been in flux with some injuries. Will Jados back today.
Yeah, this offensive line has not played to the level that they want to in the last 2 games. Now they got their quarterback back, and they got to protect him. And Terrence Carter Jr. being back, at the tight end spot is really going to be beneficial to them in the passing game.
This run game has been thunderous so far. It's a first down for Jacoby Williams on a gain of 8. Kansas State made that change to a 4-man front this year, and it took a little while to get acclimated.
Yeah, and they really believe they have a lot of depth on that defensive line.
But can they stop this run game? It is Williams, and he's tripped up across the 45. VJ Payne got his ankles, or else Williams might have been gone.
Yeah, Jacoby Williams last week, his first 2 touches were both touchdowns, and now they've given him 3 touches within the first 4 plays of the game.
And Baron Morton now. He'll throw a leisurely pocket and a drop by Aiken. Boy, Aiken so reliable. Could not reel it in at second down. There is an array of weapons here.
Yeah, it's almost like an embarrassment of riches. They have so many eligible guys that really any of them could be the player of the game. You're talking about number 3, Coy Aiken, Caleb Douglas, Reggie Virgil, Terrence Carter Jr., Cameron Dickey, and Jacoby Williams. Any one of these guys could take over a game, and it's a great thing for a quarterback to have.
You saw the drop numbers slide in as Virgil hauls this one to the 35 or so. It's a gain of 7 on the third down, but drops have been an issue, penalties have been an issue, and still it's one of the best offenses in the country, top 4 in scoring.
Yeah, Jason, I think it's because of the switching in and out of the quarterbacks. They've had those 3 different quarterbacks that have played significant snaps this year, and obviously Baron Morton throws the ball differently than Will Hammond, but on third downs, it all starts. You see their 50% completion conversion rate here, 13 in the country. It starts with number 7, Terrence Carter Jr., who's right here.
And there's one of those penalties. Man, oh man.
False start, number 70, offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
That is the 30th false start or holding penalty for Texas Tech this year, top 10 in the country.
And right here is Jacob Ponton, just a little shift, the shoulders went a little bit before they needed to. It's a little bit of that crowd noise having an impact already early in this game.
They certainly felt it in Salt Lake City for Big Noon a month and a half ago. Texas Tech did. Baron Morton with the pump. It's a middle screen. It's intercepted. Austin Romaine picked off the middle screen. And K-State has another one of those turnovers you were talking about.
Oh my gosh, Austin Romaine is right here on your screen. He's going to come inside and then just get his eyes on the quarterback, understanding that it's a screen route, and then boom, they throw it to you. You might as well catch it. Austin Romaine, that is finger licking good. With a club on his hand, that is unbelievable.
That is one of the larger clubs you'll see. And somehow he just kind of thumbed it into his body. There is so much institutional knowledge on this defense for Kansas State, and we're seeing them grow into their team concept. Even without some of the explosiveness on the offensive side, the defense has been really good recently. Avery Johnson on play action. There comes Bailey. He dodges him. Johnson keeps the eyes up. Field, that's intercepted. Bryce Pollock picks it off. Right back for Texas Tech.
Wow, these guys are trading turnovers.
That's his 4th this year. I hope you like turnovers, folks.
Both of these guys throwing these balls into what feels like a defensive team meeting. And you're going to see it right here. Bryce Pollock, Jace Brown falls down. Avery Johnson isn't even throwing that to Jace Brown. He's throwing it to
in the Big 12. All these one-score games and then back-to-back turnovers to open the game between Texas Tech and Kansas State. Last time Texas Tech won here in Manhattan. A little chippiness between Hunter and Avery Johnson, by the way. Let them have it. Last time Texas Tech won here, it was 2008. Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree, and it was like 35-mile-an-hour winds. And Texas Tech marched down the field, scored an opening touchdown, 58 points. It's not windy at all today, and we've had 2 interceptions. Totally different game than that last time. But Joey McGuire, the head coach at Texas Tech, I mean, he pulled Baron Morton in, Jacob Rodriguez, those seniors, right when he got here, and he said, look, we're going to play in games for a Big 12 title. It's right there in front of him, as Alexis said earlier. That's what Joey McGuire's been playing for. I got to tell you, Chris Kleiman is such a throwback to 3 years ago in college football. You know, like he's the kind of guy who wants to have a developmental program, build from within. And with the portal and everything that we have in this day and age in college football, he's done a masterful job keeping everybody engaged in what could have been a lost season. As here is Williams on the run. Right, I mean, Kansas State could have easily gone south.
Yeah, when we talked to them before their Arizona game, he said, you know, don't panic, don't have doubt, don't throw in the towel, and we'll see what our team is truly made of. And they've gone 3-1 down the stretch since.
And that's a first down. Jordan Allen, the tackle. But Kansas State, with those couple losses in the Big 12, it still could be a two-loss team that ends up in the league title game, depending on what BYU and Cincinnati do down the stretch. This is a pivotal game in the start of November. Williams, the low setback here. It's a direct snap to him off the motion from Morton, and he's met by Daniel Cobbs. Gruesome.
Just listen to this hit.
Yikes.
I let my pads do the talking. That's what Daniel Cobbs said right there. This is exactly what Kansas State wanted. Put Texas Tech in long second down situations and force them to have to throw the ball without favorable down and distances.
And another marker comes in. Another false start for Texas Tech.
False start, number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Those administrative offensive line penalties have been just death to drives at points for Texas Tech this year. Even though they've blown basically everybody out, they've stopped themselves.
Yeah, they've been the embodiment of the defense isn't really stopping and they're stopping themselves. And it's amazing because they're still one of the best offenses in the country. But you also have to understand quarterback's back for the first time and this crowd noise is truly impacting them so far early.
They'll run it on second down and long, and it's Williams. So Baron Morton, we were talking to him a little bit about this. He's got a lot of understanding and ability to check with the offensive line on protections at the line. What do you make of what he said about that?
Yeah, I make it to where he's a veteran quarterback who's got a lot of experience playing, and he feels comfortable making those checks and getting the line ID to the right people. But as you saw on their first drive when he came out and threw the interception on the middle screen, he's a little rusty. He's got to shake off some of those cobwebs and start making great decisions.
Pressure straight up the middle, got picked up. He got hit anyway. Coming near side, that's incomplete for Virgil. Donovan McIntosh had the coverage. A 3rd and 11. Morton had to unleash it quickly, and he missed.
Yeah, you're going to see coming right off the edge. Baron Morton sees outside. He's got a one-on-one that he wants. He tries to get it up early. Boom, gets smacked. Oh, my goodness, that looked like it hurt. And then from here, you just see a little bit short. He's about 5 yards short on that throw. And I just think he has to continue to work out some of those cobwebs of being off for the last 2 games.
It was Chidi Obi-Izor with the hit on Baron Morton as this punt goes rolling toward the end zone and through. Burgess tried to pin it.
And then win the special teams battle because it's going to be a special delivery. Both of these teams thrive on getting special teams touchdowns. Whoever plays better in that area gives himself an advantage.
Kansas State on the ground for the first time, and Joe Jackson's going to lose a couple of yards. And Avery Johnson, you talk about everything matters with him. Certainly his running ability, especially the last 4 games, matters. What he did 2 years ago still is in the minds of Texas Tech.
Yeah, they're still having nightmares about Avery Johnson right now in Lubbock, Texas. And what he's been able to do over the last 4 games, first 4 games he had 24 carries. The last 4 he has 41. It's not that he is doing more zone read, it's that in critical situations on 3rd downs and 4th downs, he's not afraid to run, and it has come up big for this offense.
They go empty here, and they go back into the middle. It's Garrett Oakley, the tight end, freeing himself to the 45. Chase Brown was in the backfield, the speedy wide receiver. He motioned out, and they hit Oakley.
Yes, you're going to see Garrett Oakley. He's right here in front of David Bailey, number 31. He's going to work out and then come right back underneath. This is a little bit of anything you can do, I can do better. Hey, Tech, you threw a pick on this same play. We're getting first downs.
Now, I wonder if part of that, too, as we get motion from the right tackle, Lane Gang.
False start, number 56, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So many teams have chipped Texas Tech and those edge guys, right? And there's the belief that Kansas State's going to do that as well. So the first play that you have a chance to, you slip the tight end. I wonder what that does to those edge rushers.
Well, I know from a defensive perspective, they're expecting those chips to go to the flat. That's normal. So now when you're not accounting for that, you don't have anyone in the middle of the field that's even paying attention to that guy who is chipping your two pass rushers. Really smart play there by offensive coordinator Matt Wells.
Maybe as a setup for later, as Jared Bradley has the catch. Second down coming up. It's a very experienced offensive line.
Yeah, and I really loved what I saw from number 78, John Pastore on film. People mover, cutting the defense. When they run outside to his side, they average more yards per carry than anywhere else. And then Jace Brown, wide receiver number 1, think speed, need for speed. He's the guy that they have to get the ball to today.
Texas Tech backs off him a little bit. That's Tibbs in motion, and it's a run for Avery Johnson. And shades of the type of power run he had 2 years ago in this game against a defense that is as good against the run as anybody in the country, Robert.
And it's because of these two outside pass rushers, David Bailey and Romello Height. You're like, wait, you just said they're good against the run. Well, they force you into throwing situations on offense because they get ahead of you, and then they unleash those guys. And the number 10, Jacob Rodriguez, is the best linebacker in the country. We talked about him in the open. His ability to be an Ed Reed-style linebacker where he can trick quarterbacks into getting him the football by freelancing is something I haven't seen quite from anyone else this year on tape.
Avery Johnson on the fake from Brown. He's gone again. Avery Johnson against the Red Raiders, a guaranteed touchdown.
This place is electric. You're going to watch Avery Johnson. These two outside defenders are going to come down. He's going to fake it to Jace Brown, and then boom, hit that inside C-gap, and then it's off to the races. I told you in the open, he's one of the fastest dual-threat quarterbacks in the country, and right there, he had this whole stadium living.
What did he say to us yesterday, though? He kind of foreshadowed that, right? He said, I have to be decisive hitting the hole, and he did there. I mean, he told us 2 years ago he was mad that he only 2021. He has very emotional memories of Texas Tech, including his daughter working in the football office after he left. A very cool story as Jacoby Williams puts it on the ground, picks it back up, and finds his way to the 22. But what Matt Wells has done with his quarterback against his former team is put them behind in a rarity. The average score at the end of the first quarter in a Texas Tech game is 15-1.
That's the definition of starting fast. And you talk about this Tech offense not doing that, but you hear from offensive coordinators all the time, man, we got to be multiple. We got to attack him in all these different ways. And that's exactly what OC for Kansas State has done. Matt Wells, they've hit him with the running game, quarterback run, formation in empty, middle screen. Texas Tech does not want to get behind in this type of environment and have those old memories of, oh, here we go again, pop up.
And the quarterback, Matt Wells, recruited. Baron Morton with a miss on first down. Second down. To be clear, that average score, that means they've given up like a touchdown all year in the first quarter. The thing about that is, and it's a shocking number, the one certainly, they don't play from behind.
Right.
They just don't.
Yeah, and how are they going to react and respond to that? They've been in 2 close games this year, beat Utah, and then lost to Arizona State. Where is their competitive maturity going to show up?
Dickey leading forward. And boy, last time we saw Texas Tech personally, in person in Lubbock, Cameron Dickey had the best game of his career.
Yeah, ran for well over 200 yards. And early in this game, you've seen a lot more of number 20, Jacoby Williams, and it's because of his dynamic playmaking ability.
Morton down the middle. He's on target this time. It's a first down for Texas Tech. And Caleb Douglas, who has been so good on third down for them.
Yeah, and I love those switch release. He inside stems, runs that basic at 10 to 12 yards. Big, strong receiver to make those plays for Baron Morton.
That's a big hit for Kansas State. Purnell and Romaine together. Purnell was first, Romaine second. And the former high school catcher, Des Purnell, apprehends another.
Yeah, you don't see him there, but they're going to show up in a hurry. These are aggressive downhill linebackers that love making plays inside of a phone booth. They don't want this to become a space game. They want to close that distance And when they bring that distance down, they talk with their pads.
And they believe in their ability against this Texas Tech offensive line. It's a handoff up the middle. It is Dickey, and he is pulled down to set up about a 3rd down and 4. Gunnar Maldonado with the stop, the safety who's jumped into the lineup in recent weeks.
Yeah, Gunnar Maldonado, a guy that was buried on the depth chart early in the season, but we found out it was just because he wasn't quite ready to go. He didn't get cleared until right before the very first game, and he needed some weeks to get back into the football shape of things. He shed that knee brace, and now he's playing at a high level, making a lot of plays in the secondary for this defense.
A big 3rd down for this defense with Aiken in motion. Baron Morton to throw right near the stick. Douglas thrown back, but he does have the first down, it seems like. It depends on the spot. The far side official is right at the line to gain it. Caleb Douglas, Robert, has 13 catches on 3rd down the last 6 games. It's more than 2 per game for him.
He is a dynamic playmaker, and for a guy at 6'4", he is very sudden and a great route runner. You normally don't see that. He's almost like a small receiver in a big receiver's body, and that is what Baron Morton loves about him. That's why they call themselves the top shelf gang, because they know they can throw the ball up, and all of their guys can make plays outside of their body.
They had hats made that involved dollar signs. A hat went off. By the way, somebody needs one of those hats. It's Carter. That is rare timing where you're talking about hats, and then one goes flying into the picture.
I told you, when Des Purnell and these linebackers come downhill, they talk with their pads, and right there, took that shoulder pad right underneath the chin of Terrence Carter Jr., number 7. You see him right here, boom, goes low, woo-wee, threw a little punch in there too. Rock'em sock'em robots.
Nice. You're dating yourself. It's another handoff. It's Dickey right into the thick of it, and he is driven back by Purnell and company again. Another 3rd down for Texas Tech. They've had 4 already in the game.
And they haven't been the most favorable 3rd down distances, and that's exactly what defensive coordinator for Kansas State, Joe Klanderman, told us he wanted to do. It's exactly what linebacker Des Purnell told us. They understand that this Texas Tech team is a little bit in flux with all the uncertainty at quarterback. They want Baron Morton to have to beat them throwing the football and using his legs.
This is a run. It's Dickey, and it looks like they're going to try and go for this. Based on that call, you'd imagine this is a go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, 100%. When you run the football in this manner, they're going to get downhill, and watch how K-State just attacks the distance. They're not playing conservatively. They're being aggressive, and I think if you're Texas Tech, when you get into some of these normal down and distances, you have to start implementing the RPO game because these linebackers are firing quickly.
Remember, Kansas State could not get off the field on 4th down in the loss to Army earlier this year. Morton on the roll. Baron Morton goes down. He is sacked by Uso Seumalo, who would not be stopped. There is a marker down at the 44, but the offense is coming on the field, Robert.
Uso Seumalo.
Sideline warning against the Kansas State bench. There is no penalty yardage associated with this warning.
They'll take it.
I want you guys to watch the big fella in the middle, number 99, Uso Seumalo. That's a big old maul, 340 pounds on a good day. Watch him get after the quarterback after the stunt, and the dance afterwards is just incredible. Look at him. We see you, big fella. Get down with it. Get down with it. Yeah.
He could have gone for like an hour.
I could have watched him too.
Yeah. First down, Kansas State, short field. Avery Johnson. Oh, that came out weird.
Oh, he got smacked in the back.
That was A.J. Holmes that created that havoc.
Oh, my. We got to show him that one. A.J. Holmes, just interior rusher there for Texas Tech. I want you to watch him. He's right here. Watch how he just gets through. No one wants to block him, and he just hits the quarterback. It's one of the worst hits you can have at the quarterback position because you can't see it.
What does it feel like?
It's coming from the backside. It almost felt like the car accident I got in earlier this year.
Well, let's not talk about that. Bad memories. Johnson a throw right down the middle. Chase Brown left the ball. It is incomplete. Very quickly, it's third down against this Texas Tech defense.
And that's one of their best players, number 1, Chase Brown. Watch how Avery Johnson leads him on this throw. Boom, puts it right on the top of his helmet. He's got to make that play. When you're running across the middle, I always told my receivers, I'm going to protect you with the football. Don't worry about anyone that's around you. Avery put it right there in a good spot. Chase has to make him right.
Third down. Johnson for Brown again, right back to him. Incomplete coverage from Brendan Jordan, the safety, and Chase Brown felt like he had a step, and we'll see if he's all right. He was down on the ground. Will they go for it?
Yeah, you're going to watch this route combination. It's what we call a box fade. You want to attack the leverage of the DB and then get skinny through and leave some space on the sideline. He starts to run a little bit towards the sideline too much. Avery Johnson left it inside there, and those types of hits right there. I did play receiver at one time. Oh,
then you stopped.
When you know you got a guy beat and the QB leaves it a little bit too inside, that fall hurts a lot more.
I'm going to take a timeout here. It is odd that they didn't run the ball. Teams throw the ball more than they run the ball until 2008, and they're going to go for it here with 3 tight ends in on 4th down.
Only other thing I could see is maybe a quick pooch kick. Trying to draw him off sides.
They just used a timeout. They can't use another one. So we'll see if he does kick it away. No, there you go. He's going to throw. In the face of pressure, it's incomplete for the tight end, Oakley. 4 passes, 4 incompletions. Texas Tech takes over.
Yeah, don't love it, but the route is going to be, he's going to run here and kind of come out of it. And what you're going to see is he is open. Avery Johnson just misses him a little bit outside because he saw that flash of color inside from Brendan Jordan, number 7 for Texas Tech.
And Romello Height came in too to create. That's what those edge guys do, though, right? Like, if you don't have that extra split second, Robert, you know it as a quarterback.
They call it a game of inches, right? But it's also a game of what you feel. So many guys are instinctual players that when you feel that rush on you, it naturally makes you speed up that clock. And right there, it led to them getting off the field on 4th down.
That was an 18-second drive. Longer in real time with the timeout and all, but 18 seconds off the game clock as Eli Leo makes a stop on Jacoby Williams. 2nd down coming up, and Texas Tech, for the cobwebs that we've seen so far from this offense, they're within 7 and they're totally fine. Another flag. They've already had 2 false starts in the game.
Penalty flag on the play.
Encroachment, offense. Number 1 was in the neutral zone at the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
I know you woke up this morning and said, I haven't seen offensive encroachment in a while. That would make my day better.
I mean, you're going to see Virgil 1, Reggie Virgil. He's lined up in the neutral zone, past the ball, and the ref said, you know what, we are throwing that today.
When's the last time you saw that?
It's been a few years.
Jacoby Williams is smoked, hit immediately by Cobbs again, and he is salty today.
Yeah, Daniel Cobbs is playing well, and you're going to see he gets off this block right here. This is Cobb coming down. You're going to see him get off this block of Coy Aiken. And whenever you throw these little bubble screens out to the receivers to get them in space and make plays, that person at the point of attack that is making the first block is the most important. Coy missed it. The play is dead.
Trips up top in a bunch. Aiken, Douglas, and Carter. It's 3rd down and 15. A stunt from Kansas State doesn't get there. That's well short of the line to gain. And inundated by Quay Moss. Reggie Virgil got whacked.
And this is what happens when you get teams into long 3rd down and distances. You got right here Reggie Virgil, Quay Moss. Hey, they're running a mesh concept. Run your zone, stay in your zone, and when someone gets in your zone, you get them up out your zone. That's exactly what Quay Moss did there, getting downhill quickly to limit the run after the catch, which is something that Texas Tech has been really lethal at.
one of the best yards after the catch teams in the country, has not had it as part of its game today. Look at this first down for Kansas State off the punt. Big baseball. I don't. I definitely don't. It sounds like horse racing. Baseball would be very hard to call if the baselines were 12 feet.
That was really quick.
Thanks. Second down and 8. It's Avery Johnson. To the outside he goes, and he's got a first down. Charles Esther is with the stop, but Jace Brown on the outside set the edge. Oh, they're going to say he's about a yard short of the line to gain. I thought for sure he had that first down, Robert. Crowd's booing. I mean, that is a wild spot.
Yeah, he was.
At first look.
His knee goes down, and it looks like it's right at the first line to gain, so.
Let's see.
Coach, they're a team that likes to jump on you early. You held them off the scoreboard to start this game. What have you liked most about your group's beginning?
Yeah, we're flying around on defense, and obviously getting off the field. We had an interception and then a couple of big third down stops. So it's going to be a 4-quarter battle with these guys. We got to find a way to run the football a little bit. So we just can't air mail it out, or we're going to be on the field too much on defense.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, to that point, Chris Kleiman's team only had the ball for 4.5 minutes of that first quarter. Texas Tech had it for 10.5. By the way, we looked at another replay, a different angle, and the spot looks like a pretty good one. So they're going to call it 3rd and 1 on a good spot on the field. No need to review. Avery Johnson says doesn't matter. It's a first down. But that is just the 13th play they've run. And Kansas State has run 111 fewer plays than Texas Tech this year. We figured it might go like this.
Yeah, their plan is to keep the Texas Tech offense off the field by putting together long drives. That's why you could hear in head coach Chris Kleiman's voice that he was upset about the 4 straight passes on the previous drive. It's because that's not K-State football. They know what they have to do to win today, and that's simply stay on the field and matriculate the ball down the field.
It's a reverse. It's Brown. Chase Brown into space. It's a first down for Kansas State, the most explosive skill position player outside a quarterback on their roster.
I just love, watch the tight end here. He's going to fake like he's going to backside block and then whip back around and be a lead blocker for the fastest man on the field for Kansas State, Jace Brown.
And Avery Johnson's roommate, by the way. They've lived together for years now here in Manhattan, Kansas. But you see the tight end, they run a top 10 amount of 1 running back, 2 tight ends, along with that explosive wide receiver, Jace Brown.
Correct, and Garrett Oakley has been a real threat for them in the pass game, so for him doing those things in the run game is so important.
It's Swanson, the tight end this time, but Brown makes the catch, then puts it on the ground. The ball is on the ground at the 47, and we'll see what the call is. Did he tuck it away? Yes, it's a fumble. Another forced fumble by Texas Tech, and they'll take over. They work on it every day. And Curry recover. Officiating crew is that this is not a completed catch. He did not fully tuck the ball, so it is an incomplete pass. It looked like he tucked this and started to run. We'll ask Mike Pereira what he thinks after a play here, but Kansas State gets a huge break. It is 2nd and 10 for Kansas State, and I can certainly understand frustration to Texas Tech fans here as Jackson has a run. He'll cut it back. Mike Pereira, what do you think of that call?
Clearly tuck it away. But the problem is here, we're analyzing this play in slow motion when we have asked replay to look at it at real time. Is there all 3 elements? Is there control? Is there a body part? And then there is there time? And to me, when you look at this in real speed, to me, I really like it that it was called incomplete. But technically, once it went into review, I think he almost had it long enough.
Because of the call on the field, right? The call on the field was that it was a fumble, so you'd need to have enough to overturn. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. 3rd down and 6. They'll get quickly to the line, maybe to try and thwart this pressure. It's a clean pocket for a moment for Avery Johnson. Now he has his eyes upfield. He's going to run and stretch out the ball. It depends on the spot. And he is well short. So it's 4th down and playable for Kansas State.
Yeah, you'll see him running here, and he stretches out, but he steps out of bounds right there, short of the first down marker.
But 4th and 3, they're going to go ahead and punt it and try to shorten this game and make a long field for Texas Tech here. What do you think?
I don't love this. You went for it on 4th and 10, a few yards forward from this point. So now here at 4th and 3, you would think you'd be more aggressive in that situation.
Instead, Simon McClannon on the punt. And this is fair caught back at the 10 by Aiken. So Texas is really good this year. We know it's a different team, but Manhattan though.
Yeah.
They're backed up. Baron Morton, short set, quick throw. Nice job by Rich to jump that route of Douglas. He was on it, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, Zayshawn Rich in these DBs. You're going to see him in off coverage here. They're going to run we call it a scout route. Just a nice out route at 5 yards. He's supposed to come out of that a little bit faster, and I think that's what Baron Morton was expecting. But this offense just seems out of sync, and I think they need to make a decision to run the football and then audible to man beaters if they get man.
It's a throw coming this way, and it's Carter, the tight end, crashing down just short of the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 1 coming up, and this may be that run you're talking about.
Yeah, and Terrence Carter Jr., number 7, is the mismatch on this team. He's a tight end that moves like a wide receiver, and there you see Cameron Dickey getting vertical to convert that 3rd down, which might be the most important 3rd down of the entire game for this offense.
Could be. Sayamalo looked like he was going to engulf him, and Dickey, a little sidestep there to get the 1st down at 8 yards. Morton again loads at time. He'll come this way into the shadows again, and he's got a completion for Douglas. Rich on the coverage. It'll be 2nd down from the 35. And Texas Tech, they like the tempo.
And they really love the tempo after they get that first 3rd down or that first down.
Morton pats it a couple times, throws it up. There's a flag down. It's incomplete.
Lord have mercy.
Wesley Fair almost picked it off. Rich might be the guy that they flagged here.
Wesley Fair was fighting that ball like the plague. Oh my goodness.
That was an 8-round bout.
That is why he plays DB.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry.
He doesn't need that. You say that about everybody who's not a wide receiver.
He juggled that ball like a juggler over there.
They can be fun
There
at
are 2
birthday
fouls
parties.
on the play.
2 fouls.
Holding, number 25, defense. Ineligible player downfield on the pass, number 79, offense. The penalties offset, 2nd down.
The left tackle, Sampson, was ineligible down the field. This is the one that was clearer.
Yeah, you're going to see Caleb Douglas here at receiver and Zayshawn Rich holding him off the line right there. You can jam him, but you can't hold him like that. And we will spare you the dropped interception.
Spare him the dropped interception. On the run, it's Dickey. He's driven back by Romaine. Austin Romaine, a crisp tackle to set up 3rd down.
Yes, you're going to see Austin Romaine get here and get vertical into this gap. I told you these guys are aggressive downhill linebackers. He knows where he needs to be. He beats the offensive lineman there, has his knees bent in athletic position, ready to take on that running back. If Tech is going to run the football, they're going to have to start getting some movement, some pushback from their offensive line.
To that end, they go 2 tight ends here, Carter and Miller. On a 3rd down, it's Morton on the roll. It's Carter, his first target since coming back from injury, and Carter roaming all the way to the 35. What a matchup nightmare he is. It's a gain of 30.
Now you've seen Terrence Carter Jr. a bunch come in here, go block there. Well, this time, fake the block, slip into the flat, get it to him, and let the big man roll. Like I said, he's a tight end that moves like a wide receiver. Very difficult to cover, especially when he's hitting like that.
Former quarterback back in the day. This is a run for Dickey. He steps out of the tackle. Cameron Dickey inviting contact from Payne. It's a gain of 16.
I think they might have heard us up here in the booth. We said they need to get some more pushback from their offensive line. So what do? They go duo blocks, and they allow Dickey to go vertical straight down the field. And you just see he finds a way to the right hole all the time.
Yeah.
That is what Cameron Dickey did the last time we had him in a game against Kansas, and he's starting to get rolling here in the 2nd quarter.
He told us good players make 1 guy miss, great players make 2 guys miss. We've seen him do both, sometimes 3. Right back there, straight up the zipper again, and Dickey directly into purple jerseys all the way down to the 10. Daniel Cobbs fighting with Dickey there to wrestle him down.
We've had 2 instances there where Caleb Douglas had a drop early in the drive, comes back, makes a great play. The offensive line doesn't get any push. Now back-to-back plays. They are moving this line of scrimmage.
Dickey just ran into Virgil, actually, trying to sidestep, and there's a marker coming in. He was going to be short by a yard still. We'll check the flag. That's back at the 15.
Personal foul, illegal hands to the face, number 52, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
It's on Ryan Davis, and a big penalty against Kansas State.
Yeah, so you're going to see Ryan Davis right here, and when he comes to jam off the ball against Jacob Ponton, boom, hand to the face, hand keeps it there, and you know, you just can't do that, guys. Hand to the face, it's right underneath that helmet, but when the head goes back like that a couple times like a bobblehead, the ref is definitely going to notice.
Setting up a 1st and goal. It's a short toss. Dickey, and he is smoked by Austin Romaine. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear.
Oh my goodness. Watch Austin Romaine right here. He's going to shoot the gap. This is what you call being an instinctual football player. Boom, shoots the gap. Now nobody's got him. And even though he's got a club on his hand like Clubber Lane, he is making plays.
Second down for Texas Tech. They have not been a great red zone touchdown team this year, the Red Raiders, despite all their success. It's Purnell getting in there, and down goes Morton. Romaine closed the deal with that club, and it's 3rd and goal. It's a loss of 11, and Morton is down for a moment.
You're going to see Purnell here and Romaine here. Watch how they both shoot this B gap and make it a living hell for both the guard and the running back. I told you they're downhill fast. They see it, they want to get it, and they understand that inside of a phone booth, they are very difficult to deal with. So put them in the phone booth.
As loud as it's been today, 3rd and goal. A lot of movement at the line for Kansas State, and let's see. Timeout, Kansas State is the initial signal.
Out of nowhere, he's running down the sideline to try to get this timeout to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, even hit a little dip there at the line. Oh my gosh, what a job.
Tremendous ball in the race. Bring your ticket to the window. 3rd down and goal. Here's a throw for Dickey. The catch at the 15, and he'll be down at the 11. Chris Kleiman, we got to get a catapult on him. See what we were talking about, feet per second. That is great stuff. And that is a coach who, I mean, he won so much at the FCS level. Came here, they had that magical season a couple of years ago to the Big 12 title game. And they get a stop here. They're playing really tough against a Texas Tech team that has its quarterback back and wants to stay in that one-loss category of the Big 12. Stone Harrington for this field goal just short of 30, and Texas Tech is on the board for the first time today. Now for a quick message from us. How does that wash out in a game like this? We'll find out together.
And it's really important for Texas Tech to show that they can win these close contested matchups, because as they move forward into the season, that's what it's going to be. Their hopes and dreams lie in the Big 12 championship, and that's going to be against a great team.
Yep.
But they got to take care of this one today, and right now Kansas State is allowing them to stay in this game despite starting the game so slowly.
84 pass yards, 34 pass yards. Really, this is, you said phone booth, that's exactly how this game has been played. The first 2 drives ended in turnovers. 2 defenses that very much create turnovers this year announced their presence early. Avery Johnson driven back and driven down. He'll lose a couple of yards to set up 2nd and long. Bryce Pollock, who had the pick earlier, and it's a loss of 3.
And this is the type of game for this Texas Tech defense that it's all eyes on the quarterback, because what Avery Johnson does with his feet is so important to helping this offense go. You can tell that Matt Wells came into this saying, if we got to run Avery 27 times today, we're going to do it.
Rodriguez was up at the line. Now he backs off. Chase Brown in motion. A lot of yelling at the line. Finally the snap. Avery Johnson on a screen. Ball came out again. It's out again, and Pollock has it. Chase Brown put it on the ground again. The question is, did he have the ball long enough when Rodriguez punched it out? It's the same question as earlier. Chase Brown can't believe what's going on today.
Yeah, and you're going to see Chase Brown makes his catch on the middle screen, catches it, tucks it. Oh, they're going to say he never got a chance to tuck that one fully, and they'd be right on this one. He never has full control of this ball. You see him catch it, go to tuck it, and it's already loose. If they said the other one wasn't a catch, it's more than likely they're going to say this one's not a catch.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
He did take an extra step this time, though, so that's part of it, is how much time elapsed. But he was juggling it. Rodriguez, who's just unbelievable at that, punches it out. Texas Tech is at the line. So let's see if they stop this. I agree with you, Robert. I thought for sure they'd stop it here. But instead, we're going. Big turnover.
Good for Texas Tech fans.
Yeah, they'll take it. Morton on a handoff. It's Jacoby Williams. It's a gain of 1. Second down coming up. The time element there, right? He did have the ball tucked, it looked like. But I would absolutely believe a Kansas State fan that said, well, if the other one, you should at least stop this one.
Yeah, 100%. But that's not what they did. They said that it appears that they're saying that that second step was enough for them to say he was just juggling and he had control.
Reggie Virgil, quick move back to the outside, and he's hit by Cobbs. It's a first down. By the way, you saw him in the background there, catch Cleveland in at left guard for Texas Tech.
Yeah, you're going to see Reggie Virgil, just nice screenplay, boom, catch it, get vertical, make one guy miss, right? We say the good ones make one guy miss, the great ones make 2. Right there, he almost made 3.
And he paid for it, by the way. Virgil comes off the field. Leighton Stone checked in for him, the freshman out of Lubbock at the top of the formation. Morton in motion. Jacoby Williams faked it that way, and now he'll run, trying to bounce it. Stood up, and he ran through it down to the 1-yard line. Zayshawn Rich versus Williams was a prize fight.
And this is such a good job of Texas Tech. You got the Wildcat, and what do? You force the corner to tackle, and you get him off you right there. Jacoby Williams, very physical at the point of attack.
Romaine got his hands on him this time. It's a loss of half a yard. It's 3rd and goal for Texas Tech. Now, do you run it here or do you throw it?
Yeah, 3rd and goal. We always had this mythology in college football when I was at Baylor. Hey, we're going to throw the ball to get into the red zone. We're going to run the ball to get into the end zone. So that's what I would love to see Texas Tech accomplish here. Establish that line of scrimmage on the goal line. Trust your big fellas up front. Give the football to Cameron Dickey.
Extra lineman as well. DeAnthus Upshaw. There goes Morton. It is a straight-ahead run for Dickey for the touchdown as a marker comes in. Now, they brought in the extra lineman. You look out for an illegal formation on something like this.
Offside, number 52, defense.
Instead,
lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
It's on Ryan Davis, and Texas Tech, just like that, has the lead.
Yeah, and you're going to see Ryan Davis right here on the edge. He is clearly lined up in the neutral zone. And we talked about give the ball to Cameron Dickey, trust your offensive line, and what does he do? He walks in untouched. That right there is a statement drive from Texas Tech, and this offensive line has answered the call of being more physical up front.
His 10th rushing touchdown. Oh, clang! A resounding miss.
Let's listen right in.
Stone Harrington sent to Boulder. right into the upright. It's 9-7, but boy, that fumble still kind of rings in your ears. Mike Pereira, what did you see on the catch and run there?
Yeah, to me, it still rings in my ear, too, because to me, I didn't feel like they should have reversed the first one that we had. This one, to me, he never gets it clearly tucked away, and you can actually see the hand come off the ball. There was never really solid control. So, I mean, the fact that it was a fourth down, that it was a change of possession play, to me, should have been reviewed, and I think should have been incomplete.
So how do you reconcile those two? Like, if another one of those happens, just for, like, what are we looking for here, do we think, today now? We'll let this kickoff go into the end zone and lock it. It's just tough, Mike, to figure out as we go through this game, what are we looking for today?
Yeah, it makes it very, you know, when you try to look for consistency, this makes it pretty difficult. Look, we look at things in real time, and I get concerned when we overturn things that we shouldn't have, but I'm equally concerned, for example, there's different types of play. When it's a change of possession, you've got to take a look at that when there's any element of doubt at all. So it's kind of hard to have a lot of faith in the system when you're having these types of plays.
Mike, we appreciate it. Your candor, you're great at what you do. And it's what we're all seeing here, too, today. So thank you. Kansas State takes the brunt of that one. Each team has gotten a break on a play like that. And off we go on a first down for Avery Johnson. We'll climb the pocket straight ahead and crumple down in a heap for a couple of yards. Braylon Rigsby with the stop. Jacob Rodriguez told us yesterday that around their facility they have footballs on springs just periodically as you walk through the hallways that they try to just punch loose. You ever heard that before?
I have actually never heard that one before. You hear people talk about, hey, it's a mentality, you got to have an on-ball mentality, but to have the footballs on the springs just littered throughout the facility is something that I haven't seen, but I feel like everyone else in the country is going to copycat that now.
Here's a run, and that's not going anywhere. Oh, my goodness. Cole was nasty. Huge hit on Jackson. It's a loss of one, and suddenly it's 3rd and 9, and this is the fear that Chris Kleiman talked about with Alexa. You can't have short drives against these guys.
Yeah, especially when Texas Tech's offense is such a quick strike offense. Once they get rolling, they start to put up points in bunches. You want to keep them on the sideline as much as you can. You talk about Cole Wisniewski right there. He's coming down from 12 yards deep as a safety and making that play at the line of scrimmage. If you don't show them that you can run the football or throw it over the top, these safeties are going to constantly be making plays at the line.
Work out of empty here. 3rd down and 9 for Kansas State. Oh, goodness. Look out. David Bailey, the sack leader in the nation, gets home again.
Oh, my goodness. The boogeyman right here off the edge. David Bailey, watch this first step. Boom! Gets vertical, nobody's got a chance, and he gets to the quarterback. You don't even have an opportunity to see the field. That's how fast he's getting to the QB. And Lord almighty.
Jacob Rodriguez said to us yesterday, he goes, look, why doesn't Mike do that anymore?
I mean,
is it because you roasted him?
I didn't. I thought his house was okay. We got to bring it back.
That's not what you said. Oh, Aiken puts it on the ground. Ball loose. Coy Aiken put it on the deck. And it looked like Texas Tech got back on top of it, and they did. This game.
We talked about special delivery in the threes keys today, and you just see Coy Aiken. Maybe the ball gets lost in the sun, takes his eyes off it at the last second, and there is no panic like the panic of a punt returner when the ball hits the ground off of their hands. And you see him, the urgency to jump and get back on top of that one.
Mikey Bergeron in purple had a shot at that thing. Aiken just lassoed it at the last moment. So Texas Tech 3 timeouts. Kansas State will get it first out of halftime. Baron Morton, another short set into traffic. He got it away to midfield to Terrence Carter once again.
And you've seen both teams use this running back motion from outside back in to determine what the coverage is. He knew he had zone, so then he has to beat the defense to the spot on the stop route. Nice job right there by Baron Morton.
It's a delay. It's a draw. It is Dickey. And they have the luxury of running it here a little bit. Now they're going to try and bear Bachmeier in forward for a while. third down.
I think linemen actually love that. They love when they can push the pile and get an extra 5 to 10 yards. And you look at Mac Leftwich here, his 4th year as a play caller. He's done a really nice job of adjusting the game plans inside the game based off the quarterback that he has. And so far, he's been able to help Baron Morton get a little more in rhythm in the second quarter.
So they motion Aiken. They run it here, and this is going to be very close for Dickey. Cobbs is on the tackle. It looks like he's going to be about half a yard short. So we'll see how they play this time-wise. They haven't used a timeout yet. The clock is ticking. If they get this first down, then they're going to be in total scramble mode. They're just letting the clock wind down, which seems like an odd choice here.
It's counterintuitive, but they're also looking at it from the standpoint of they don't want to give K-State the ball back with a ton of time. But you got to be aggressive in this situation, in my opinion, because they're not getting the ball out there.
You have 3 timeouts. Your run game has been your best asset so far. You just ran it into the end zone from 1 yard out. It's not our team to coach, but that is an interesting choice with 3 timeouts, not getting the ball after halftime, by the way. Game summary sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. Texas Tech had the ball for 19.5 minutes. I do think a big part of the calculus is, Robert, that you're not going to see the ball on a halftime. Kansas State gets it first.
100%.
If Texas Tech was going to have it first, it's a different calculus.
I think they know in this situation that they're going to go for it here on 4th down. If they get the first down, the clock's going to stop anyway. Now they don't have to use that extra timeout, but with this amount of time that they allow to come off the clock, no matter how fast of an offense you are, it just seems like it's mismanagement of the situation. And it all could go away in one play.
No, that's right. But you do shrink your options. That's not like your odds are significantly worse than scoring a touchdown because you let that time roll.
Exactly. So now in this situation, you have to come to the line of scrimmage with 2 plays so that your offense knows if you get the first down, what exactly to get back on the line of scrimmage and run.
They're going to go direct snap for Williams, and he is sent sideways, but he has the first down. So you have 2 timeouts. They'll use one of them here likely with 20 seconds to go. I guess you didn't want to invite Kansas State. Like, if you couldn't get the yard, you don't want to invite them into a 2-minute drill, I guess. But that seems a little passive for a team that has laid waste to opponents all year long. Like, that's part of this too, is Texas Tech's whole vibe is blowout city.
Yeah, now after that decision, Jason, I'm completely lost as to what they're doing right now.
Yeah, what's the call here then?
Yeah, I mean, you've got 1 timeout left, 20 seconds on the clock. Are you taking a shot deep down the field? Are they just trying to get into field goal range? Like, their kicker just doinked one, you know, after the touchdown they scored. So I'm lost as to what the thought process is here, unless they're going to try to get one quick in the flat and get out of bounds without having to use that last time out.
They're down Reggie Virgil, the wide receiver. He went into the tent a little while ago. It's Carter and Moshe, the tight end, and Morton to throw. And he'll go deep down the sideline. He wants the tight end Carter, and that is incomplete with DJ Payne on coverage. 6 seconds off the timer there.
And this is something that they've wanted to try to do, is get VJ Payne and Gunnar Maldonado in these coverage situations against Terrence Carter Jr., who they know is a really good tight end. And you see Baron Morton's response of wanting a flag for holding. I don't see it there. That was great coverage by VJ Payne.
Baron Morton's been waiting to play for a couple of weeks. Not injured. He's ready to throw again. He'll step up in the pocket. He's going to run middle of the field into a slide. They're going to mark him at the 36. They have 1 timeout left. They have a timeout. They haven't used. There it is. It looked like he was going to set up to spike it, but Joey McGuire was on the case. So this is going to be a 53-yard field goal. Stone Harrington does have a 58-yarder this year. He's got the leg for it, so this is playable. But it's not just about the field goal and the distance. It's about the ability to have a possible knockout punch to at least into a 2-score game.
Yes. And we're sitting here like everyone at home wondering, what was the actual plan? And I think it probably went something a little like this, Jason, in the headphones, because I've been on those headsets before, and it's pretty chaotic.
You listened in when you were injured in college.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's pretty chaotic of what's going on. You know, the OC saying, all right, let's go for it. The coach is saying, no, we're gonna take a timeout. They're letting it run down. Oh no, we're gonna do this. They're letting they let like 20 to 25 seconds just run down on that clock, and now it's forced them into a 54-yard field goal when they could have gotten that first and went for it quickly, or taken a timeout and potentially scored a touchdown here. So just colossal mismanagement there at the end of the half by Texas Tech.
Kansas State has a timeout. We'll see if they use it, and they will. There's a blast from Harrington. Those uprights are loud.
They are.
Chris Kleiman is hot over on the sideline. He wanted delay of game.
This man is doinking everything.
Yeah, that hit the upright, to be clear, and then went through. Fox Sports proudly salutes our nation's veterans and the organizations that serve them every day. Our veterans deserve to live with dignity and independence, not on the streets. That's why we're making Camo our cause this Veterans Day in support of the Honor U.S. Vets campaign. To donate and learn how you can help end veteran homelessness, visit go.fox/USVets.
Shout out to all our veterans out there. We wouldn't be living in the country and have the freedoms that we have if it wasn't for them. So we salute you.
Amen. Harrington to try it again. He hit the upright and sent it through last time. No timeouts remaining. Go time for Harrington from 54. This is on the way, and it is good. Oh, he drilled it.
You never go full doink, and right there he went right down the middle.
Chris Kleiman is livid on the sideline. Texas Tech has the momentum. What's going to happen in the second half? But if we claim to be a wise man, it surely means that we don't know. We're here in Kansas. 12-7 is your halftime score. And all that first half was dust to the wind for Kansas State. They didn't have the ball much at all. I mean, you're talking about like 22 plays. Robert, how does Kansas State flip over the top here?
Well, Jason, it's very difficult to tell what they need to do because they haven't been on the field. But when they are, they don't seem to have an identity. I want to see them running downhill. That's where they had the big touchdown run for Avery Johnson. And they have to take more shots down the field. The only way you know if you can win those one-on-one matches is if you actually take those shots. But one thing they have to do is keep their defense on the sideline. They're starting to wear down a little bit. And Texas Tech is starting to get going.
Texas Tech has aspirations of big things this year. They want to get to the college football playoff. They're up 5 downstairs to Alexa.
And K-State stands in their way. Coach Kleiman said he reminded his guys at halftime what he told them all week. Tech is a good team, and they're going to take advantage of our mistakes. He feels like they gave them 9 points off of their turnovers. And for Tech, Coach McGuire said those pre-snap penalties are absolutely killing us and killing our drives, putting us in 3rd and long situations. JB, he did smile, though, and say, we have won the turnover battle. So far, he's happy about that. And we know J-Ron had the punch out. He wants to see more from his defense.
Yeah, it should be a new Nintendo game. Jacob Rodriguez's punch out, right? The sequel from back in the day. It's first down for Kansas State. Alexa, thank you. From the 25. Avery Johnson. Quick set. Got it away. Jerron Tibbs on the 23rd play of the day for Kansas State. Texas Tech has run more in plus territory than Kansas State has all day.
Yes, it's little plays like that. Hey, they motion them back in. They know they've got zone because no one goes with them. So the quarterback knows I got to beat them to the zone. They do it, and you're going to see a lot more empty from this Kansas State team with these 2 and 3 tight end sets.
There's a back this time. It is Jackson. He crashes for the first down, but they need to give this defense a little time to get off the field for a while as well. Texas Tech can wear you down.
Yeah, they can. I think one thing that has always been a weapon for Kansas State is teams don't know how to play their 2 and 3 tight end sets, their 12 and 13 personnel. Do we go big and they run routes on us? Do we go small and they run the ball on us? Texas Tech doesn't have to make those subs because they trust their 3 inside linebackers to be able to play in coverage and against the run.
As you say that, a tight end motions into the backfield. Ancio Johnson stepping up in the pocket and over the far shoulder of Brown, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 1, Chase Brown.
And listen, the throw wasn't great, but it's all because of number 9, Romello Height, coming off the edge. The quarterback can feel this stepping up. He wants to throw that ball more down the field, but he has so much momentum going towards the sideline. The ball carries on him. A lot of times people don't understand that the pressure that's created from the defensive line alters more throws than meets the eye.
Sped him up that time. Second down. Drop it off to tight end Oakley. It's another middle screen to a tight end, and Oakley puts the ball on the ground. Wisniewski punches it away, and Texas Tech on the recovery. Wisniewski comes away with it. It was Rodriguez who knocked it free. It's his second forced fumble of the day.
We called Jacob Rodriguez the ball magnet. Watch him right here in the middle of your screen. He comes in for the tackle. Punches the ball out. I mean, the accuracy of that punch and Wisniewski being right on the money to pick it up. Jacob Rodriguez just constantly giving this Texas Tech offense more opportunities with the football and getting his defense off the field.
It's amazing. I mean, it's uncanny. He's done it his entire career. Jacob Rodriguez creates another turnover, and that smile continues to grow for Joey McGuire because of the takeaway theater today. Baron Morton on first down, unshackles to the sideline, and a comeback incomplete. He wanted Reggie Virgil, who is back into the lineup, and the pressure from Romaine sets up second down.
Yeah, and you see Reggie Virgil here working against Donovan McIntosh. He locates the ball, tries to come back for it. It's just a little bit short, and it was because of the pressure in the face of Baron Morton by Austin Romaine that made him throw that again sooner than he wanted to.
Morton on the roll. Pressure again. Stufflebeam this time. Tipped, and it's caught. It's caught by Douglas off the tip ball at the sideline, and it's third down and 1. This pinball machine continues.
You see VJ Payne try to catch the pick. It bounces right into Caleb Douglas's arms. Sometimes the ball just bounces your way, and right now, for Texas Tech, it certainly is.
That is ridiculous.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
You'd rather have both, but if you're going to pick one, maybe it's that one today. Third down and 2, probably 2-down territory here. Williams, the tailback, gets around the edge. Big block from Carter. He'll cut it back. Williams is gone. Touchdown.
What a run by Jacoby Williams. And you're going to see Terrence Carter Jr. come out in front with the lead block. And watch how Williams hits Zason Rich right there as, hey, man, get out the way. I got a touchdown to score. Jacoby Williams, the former high school 110-meter state champion, high steps into the end zone.
Texas Tech is 15th in the country in rush yards after contact per carry. These are two very tough tailbacks. It's Jacoby Williams this time after Cameron Dickey got them in earlier. But another turnover for Texas Tech, and this very end over and over again. He flips houses and he flips possessions.
He's a ball magnet, man, and the best thing about those punch-outs is when he does them. He's not trying to make open field tackles and do that. He knows where his guys are and that he has the ability to punch it out at the right time.
For more on Jacob Rodriguez, here's Alexa.
Yeah, J-Rod is a special player on the field and a special one off of it as well. He always shares a special moment with his wife, Emma, pregame. They get to share a moment, kind of hone in together. And today is an extra special matchup here in Manhattan because his wife, a Black Hawk pilot, is stationed at Fort Riley, 20 minutes away here from Manhattan. So yesterday, JB, you touched on it. He got to go home. Their recently remodeled 30s house, put some work into it. They've got family that got to visit it as well. So a special time here in Kansas with family and friends in attendance.
We learned all about remodeling concrete ceilings yesterday from Jacob. as Kansas State needs some momentum here. Avery Johnson to throw, and he'll go out to the tight end, Oakley, who put it on the ground moments ago. John Curry with the hit. Former quarterback Jacob Rodriguez.
Yes, there's something about those former quarterbacks that they just know how to get things done. Played at Virginia. They used to motion him in the backfield and have him run some belly dives. Sent a couple of those clips to the crew this week. That was a fun watch. But
you went to the library today. You were this week. You were in the microfiche, looking at the old clips.
I had to, man. You got to find these stories that nobody else can.
Second down and 5. Here's a handoff. It is Jackson, and he is swarmed. Ben Roberts, the only linebacker we haven't mentioned so far today, and he's been important to this defense too.
Yeah, Ben Roberts right here in the middle of that defense. Watch how him and Jacob Rodriguez flow over the top, and they've got 3 Texas Tech Red Raiders ready to make that play, including number 7, Brendan Jordan.
It's 5 tackles for loss for Texas Tech already on an average of nearly 7. Looks like they'll get there today.
And again, you got Kansas State in 3rd and 7, a longer situation that they're not really built for, but they're going to try to, again, get this football to Garrett Oakley, their tight end, number 86.
Height and Bailey switch sides. Bailey got there anyway. It's down the middle, Jace Brown. Kansas State with a big hit. Brown into Wisniewski, who drags him down. It's a gain of over 50 at the right time for K-State.
And right here, they're going to actually high-low Jacob Rodriguez, have the tight end run an out route, and Jace Brown over the top. Nice ball there from Avery Johnson, catchable, and then Jace Brown does the rest. You see it just over the outstretched arm of Jacob Rodriguez, the guy that's been punching all the fumbles out. This is a good sign for Kansas State because Jace Brown has had a really difficult game so far, but he is their best wide receiver, and you need your best player to show up big in these moments.
Modified pistol here. It's Brown a step behind Avery Johnson, and off of that, it is a throw to the end zone. Oakley got hung up with Wisniewski, and there is no marker down. Oakley thought he got held. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Yeah, you're going to see Oakley is right here hiding behind the beautiful hair of Avery Johnson. And he's going to open out release, and then Wisniewski is going to hold him right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely a hold, and he has every right to be upset about that. And you can see the reaction from Avery Johnson, understanding that the defense got away with him there.
Brown in motion. Johnson has to sidestep, and he gets dropped by Wisniewski. Wisniewski was waiting for him like it was a bus stop.
Yes, he was. And again, this is just a safety coming in from about 6 to 7 yards of depth. They're being aggressive because they don't believe that this Kansas State offense can beat them throwing the football. And you see Shiel Wood, the defensive coordinator there for Texas Tech. You got to call the game that's in front of you. And if the team that you're playing isn't throwing the football very effectively, you have to come downhill. And, of course, that's what got them on the last one when Jace Brown was able to get one over the top.
I figure they need a touchdown here. I don't know that the field goal would help them. It would make it 9, but it is 3rd and long. Avery Johnson back to throw. He'll step up right down the middle. Johnson again is in, and Kansas State is right back in this ball game.
What a run. You're going to see Romello Height right here is going to come around with the defensive tackle doing a DT tackle stunt. And what happens is you lose your rush lane integrity. And what did I tell y'all? Avery Johnson is one of the fastest dual threat quarterbacks in the country. Most players can't make this play, but Avery Johnson can. You see his hair flowing in the wind, looking like a Head and Shoulders commercial. That was a big-time play, and JB, you called it. They needed a touchdown, and he delivered.
Had to have it. I mean, he gave away his lilac sports car where the hair was flowing in the breeze here in Manhattan, but he figured he'd just get up to speed with his own feet.
That was fast.
Tech. And it has become a theme of this series. Kansas State has relied on his ground game for most of its offense. That goes rolling into the end zone. And a touchback. Jacoby Williams will let it roll. Our Aflac trivia question: get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. When was the first Big 12 conference game, and who played in it? Now we're showing it to you in the middle of Kansas State, Texas Tech, Robert.
So I'm guessing Kansas State was in that.
that could be a clue, or it might not be.
It might not be as well.
Could be anybody. You think it over.
I'll think about it.
And we'll give you the answer shortly. Do you think it's a ruse? Do you think we're just pulling your leg here?
I don't think you're pulling my leg.
You don't think?
I don't think so.
We'll find out after this. Baron Morton on first down. Pump fake. He'll look the other way and whistle it that direction to the 31. 7 yards. Reggie Virgil sets up a second down and short. Last 4 drives. You'll take that.
Yeah. No, they found their rhythm.
What was that sound?
It was just I was thinking about how excited I was to watch Baron Morton go from one side of the field to the other side of the field and just with the flick of the wrist make that throw. He is playing more in rhythm, so that's probably why they've been better.
Cameron Dickey stepping through tackles. It's a first down. There is something to spending a couple of weeks on the sideline, right? And then getting back into the thinking shape to play the position. Is that right?
100%, because you do have to be able to play freely, but attack the defense with your mind.
Here he is. Morton, it's a deep ball. Left sideline, dropping it right in for Virgil. Oh, what a ball from Baron Morton.
And we've seen Baron Morton take a couple shots down the field that were a little bit short, but I want you to watch this man, Reggie Virgil. Ooh, work that, and he's down the sideline, and watch him. Late hands. Those late hands right there prevent the DB from being able to make a play on the football. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch, great execution.
He applied his trade in Oxford, Ohio, at Miami, Ohio. He was a tremendous player in the Mid-American Conference and shows up here to Texas Tech to be a major factor.
I tell people this all the time. It sounds, redundant. The only way to get better at throwing the deep ball is to throw the deep ball. Baron missed a couple, and he corrected it right there on that one.
2 backs on the delay. It's Dickey. And BJ Payne might have saved a touchdown. How about that design? 2 back set, fake it to one, delay it to the other. A little counter action.
Yeah, whenever you have 2 backs like this, we saw Cameron Dickey go for over 200 yards. You know that he can be a reliable threat. We saw Jacoby Williams have the beautiful touchdown run down the middle of the field. It just keeps the defense guessing, giving them eye candy. They got to pay attention to it all, and that's when you smack them in the mouth.
It's Carter in motion, the dangerous tight end. Morton pats the ball a couple times into the end zone. Incomplete for Douglas. McIntosh on the other side from Rich with the coverage. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, you're going to see this throw from Baron Morton. He's got all this space to work with, and it's just a little bit behind Caleb Douglas. And this would be the moment where I say it touched his hands, JB, but it wasn't supposed to be a touch. That's a bad throw there from Baron Morton. He needs to put that a few feet in front of his receiver, and they'd be celebrating.
They'll go empty. You see those wide splits there. So tough to defend. Douglas, a one-handed grab, and let's see where the spot is. It looks like he's going to be a little bit short, and a big decision coming right now for Texas Tech.
Yeah, you're going to see. Gets the catch. Now it's about where's the ball at. He almost tries to put the ball out at first.
Yeah.
And they looks like he was a little bit short. And they're doing the right thing here, keeping the offense on the field, going for it here on 4th in what looks like a few inches.
They've only gone for it 11 times on 4th down all year, and it looks like they're going to burn a timeout, which is something you might need late in a game in the Big 12, which lives on the edge of the cliff in 1-score games for a living. I mean, that's the way this conference has gone. We'll see if it hurts. 4th and 1 when we come back. Look at this 3rd down possible conversion. Caleb Douglas reached out the ball, but they officially announced the ruling was upheld. It's 4th down. So after all that, no timeout. They keep their 3 timeouts. Texas Tech still has to go for it on 4th down here. That's their choice, and they will.
Last couple times they've gone to like a wildcat type of situation at the running back spot. Wouldn't be surprised to see them hand this one off to Cameron Dickey.
After the motion from Virgil, it's a false start. John Carlos Miller, the tight end, moved. Man, oh man. So many offensive line penalties for Texas Tech.
False start. Offense. Multiple players moved, but the center did not snap the ball. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
To reiterate, Texas Tech came in with 29 false start or holding penalties this year. That was 9th in the country. Entering play today, they had 2 very early false starts, and this one just sends a drive 6 feet under.
Yeah, and it takes points off the board. Now you're having to settle for a field goal, which I do believe is the right decision here on 4th and 6. Get those points on the board, but you were trying to be aggressive and put yourself ahead by even more and getting a touchdown if you convert that 4th down.
So Stone Harrington from 29, and the kick is good. It's an 8-point game. Kansas State gets a Sammy Morris touchdown, and Texas Tech back in the game, but Kansas State was 7 better. And Kansas State and Avery Johnson down 8 will have the ball from the 25.
Yes, and Avery Johnson has been everything for them. You're going to see him right here off the zone read action, getting that speed down the field. Then you see him right here. Just, you know what, I'm going to take this one. Even if the guy doesn't go where he's supposed to, I'm just going to outrun him. And then, of course, you see the defense flow to the left. Then you see him replace them in the zone they were at. And speed in space always wins the race. Avery Johnson has done an amazing job of running in critical situations to help this team stay in this game. They're going to have to ask more of him, as you already saw his stats down there at the bottom of the screen.
The safety was Nesky coming up to the line. Jackson is driven back. He'll get maybe a yard or 2. John Curry with the stop. 2nd down for Kansas State. How much more can you ask of Avery Johnson? How many times can you run him, considering you don't have a ton of experience behind him?
Yeah, that's one thing that coaches get into a conundrum about is you have this quarterback, he's a dynamic runner, but if you run him too much, you can run him into the ground and risk injury. I think for K-State, this game means everything for their season. If they win it, it puts them right back in the middle of the pack. If they lose, they have no chance of making it to the Big 12 title game. So you got to just do what you have to do in this one.
Chase Brown, what speed by Bailey. He tracked him the whole way. That 6'3", 250 behind him. Amir Boyd came in as well, but Bailey didn't lose a step, man.
Yeah, you see, David Bailey, this guy isn't just trying to get sacks. He's trying to make plays. And it wasn't just him. It was also Amir Boyd coming in at the end there to wipe out Jace Brown's legs. But whenever you have your best players playing sideline to sideline, not giving up on any plays, it impacts the whole group.
There are 3 tight ends here on 3rd and 11 for Kansas State against this defense. You see Bailey coming from the near side. They chip him there. They double team him. And this ball gets away, but it's not going anywhere. It's Amir Boyd again on Ancio this time. What a series for Phoenix's own Amir Boyd.
Yeah, Amir Boyd is getting to the point of attack, and you're going to see him. These big tight ends can be very difficult to tackle, but you're going to see Amir Boyd right there. Tight end chips, gets to the flat, he does his responsibility, and then he rallies to make this tackle before the receiver's even ready for him to be there.
Just an outstanding series for Amir Boyd. Aiken on the return. Corey Aiken wanted the outside, and he was denied. 45 yards. 95th in the FBS in red zone touchdowns. And so, as everybody in the Big 12 tries to figure out how to not be part of the pack, right? That's been the whole deal the past couple of years in this league is, can you avoid being in the middle in the carnage and avoid a big upset? A close game is not what Texas Tech wants here today, and the red zone issues have been a thing. It's 1st down for Baron Morton from the 26. Morton keeps his eyes up. He'll wing it downfield. He's got it for Carter in space again. 2 Wildcats ran into each other, and Carter ran through the rest.
Terrence Carter with the moves down the field. You're going to see Baron Morton do a really nice job keeping his eyes down the field as he moves out of the pocket. Boom, get your eyes there. See the open receiver, hit the open receiver, and then Terrence Carter Jr. does the rest. Another thing I'm noticing is they're getting some one-on-one matchups in the slot with these safeties. Look for them to take a shot here through the rest of this game to make some of those happen.
And Gunnar Maldonado, who ran into Purnell there, just came out of the ball game. So Maldonado is out for this play. It is first down for Texas Tech. It was linebacker safety coming into one another. Morton to throw. Eyeing the left side. Now he runs right. Baron Morton slides into a stop and took a hit. Eli Leo with the hit after the slide. And there is no marker in.
That's a shocker because Morton clearly gives himself up before Eli Leo goes to hit him down. There should have been a flag there.
Now he tried to hold up, but that typically is not a part of the calculus. I agree with you. Second down through the shadows, Morton, and that's incomplete. It's third down. That's 6. Alexis said it off the top of the show. But Baron Morton wanted to play the last 2 weeks. He thought in that Kansas game when he got hurt, he was running up and down the sideline. He was like, I can go back in. He told the coaching staff, and Mac Leftwich was like, no. We need you later in the year. They need him for later in the year is right now. This kind of drive is when they need Baron Morton, and why they tried to keep him healthy for November. Third and 6. It's a short set, and he gets it for Aiken, but he gave up the first down. It looked like he was close to the marker, then gave up about a half yard. He may not have been there, but he definitely lost a half yard from the catch, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, a lot of times we tell receivers when you see 2, split 2, catch that, get vertical right away. He tried to backtrack to get around it, but that's not really Coy Aiken's game. So now they're sitting here in a 4th and 1 situation, and you know without a shadow of a doubt, they are going for it.
But last time, there was a false start. We didn't get to see what play they'd run. It's a throw. It's Morton. Down the field this way. It's caught by Douglas. He stretches, and he is down at the 1. Caleb Douglas thought he was in. I know you think he might be in. Let's see. It's going to be first and goal at the very least.
Oh!
And we'll get a replay review.
The previous play is under review to determine if the runner broke the plane of the goal line with the ball.
It'll be whether his chest comes down, right? He makes the move here, puts the hand down, and then that's a touchdown, man.
That's a touchdown.
What a play. It pays to be 6'5". They got him listed at 6'4". He was every bit of 7'2" right there with that stretch out.
Now, I know you like the former quarterbacks. Would you settle for his dad was a quarterback?
Oh, we can add that to the list as well.
Yeah, Caleb Douglas' dad was a quarterback at Vanderbilt, Texas Southern. And Caleb here, the transfer after 2 years in Gainesville, has been such a big play threat for Texas Tech in his second year with the Red Raiders. Looks like he's in.
What a play, man.
The one question that does linger here is the shot directly down the line? That's part of it. It does look like he got the ball pretty well into the end zone, and the chest doesn't come down until the very last moment of the stretch.
Yep.
So it seems like you could piece it together and call it a touchdown. But remember, the call on the field was he was down.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's first down and goal for Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's not the right call.
Wow.
That's a touchdown, Robert. I don't.
Listen, that hand down doesn't count right there. The body's down. The ball is broken. The plane, that's supposed to be a touchdown.
This has been a rough one today. But I bet you it's because it wasn't straight down the line.
I mean, use your context clues or something. Blues, clues, whatever you got to right there. That's one of the clearest touchdowns I've seen. But as you said, it has been an issue all game today.
There's the mail. It never fails. Here's a run. And Kansas State, for the moment, gets a stop. Second and goal. Daniel Cobbs went into the pile. Now, Texas Tech cannot afford a penalty here.
No, they can't. And to be quite honest with you, you'd want to run the football again. K-State is giving them one-on-one matchups on the outside. You can see up here at the top, Reggie Virgil's got a one-on-one matchup. And then right here, Terrence Carter Jr. motioning in, showing up his man coverage.
Morton will flow this way, and he throws back in the end zone. Douglas, karma, touchdown.
Just a beautiful job. Douglas is going to come in here, act like he's blocking, and then come back out to the back of the end zone. And watch how he stops here. Boom. Hey, you got me covered. I'm going to be instinctual. Stop. Throw it inside, Barron. I got you. Really nice job of just the quarterback and the receiver being on the same page, because that's not the route concept. That's not the play. It's supposed to be in the back corner, but they find a way to make it work.
That's a quarterback and wide receiver who even in a couple of years have forged a bond, and the extra point is good. Texas Tech by 15. Back to the play on 4th down to get him in range, Robert.
So I want you to watch right here Donovan McIntosh. His eyes are going to be right here on the play. Caleb Douglas is going to go inside and then get around to go deep. The entire defense closes down, and that's why he is so wide open. They normally insert block there, and then the play is dead. So everybody's rallying on that 4th and short to stop the run, and Douglas just sneaks out the back door. Amazing job by him, which should have been a touchdown, but as we say, the ball don't lie, and it eventually found him for a touchdown a couple plays later.
This offense, the last 6 drives, 29 points. It was amazing. Yesterday, we were talking to their offensive coordinator, Mac Leftwich, about this offense, and just how he's not had his quarterback for a whole game for most of the year, either because of a blowout, because of an injury, whatever. Mac Leftwich said to us, he goes, look, I've never until last year lost a quarterback mid-game.
Right.
Never. Which is amazing considering how many backups have been in already this year. Make sure you take a listen to Robert's podcast, Out of Pocket with RG3. You'll go bananas for it. Tie and Potassium, available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. It's very appealing.
Hey, we appreciate that. Listen, if you love football, want to have a good time, want to get smarter about the game, we're talking to great people, celebrities, players from these teams, and having a good time. Make sure y'all join the huddle and go follow us on social media and on YouTube.
Waldo came from the World Series of the extra inning game all the way to Manhattan. Waldo. I wonder if Waldo's going to make it back for Game 7. It's incomplete.
Yeah, and you see, can't get to the QB, so what we always say, Jason, get your hands up and play volleyball. He might have been able to catch that one.
It's a former high school quarterback, Wisniewski.
Another one?
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
2nd down. Avery Johnson. Oh. Down the middle, look out below. Garrett Oakley got absolutely hammered by Curry, and it's a form tackle, and it's illegal, and it's 3rd down.
Good God, you're going to watch Avery Johnson put this on the back shoulder, and John Curry is right there in a hurry. Ooh, Curry in a hurry. My God. Sometimes you just fall into these things, Jason.
Garrett Oakley just fell into Curry.
2 times more before.
Our microphones hear everything, by the way.
They do.
3rd down and 1. Lubbock native, Lubbock Coronado High School, John Curry. 3rd down, short toss. Jackson steps through. And toss got tripped up. Oh, baby, he was gone. But Jordan from the ground grabbed him.
They just have him offset here, make everyone think they're going to run quarterback draw, pitch it to the outside, pin everyone inside, and then it's Joe Jackson just running over guys backwards. And, oh, if he just keeps the feet up, he might still be running.
Instead, we'll hit the end of the 3rd quarter, but with enough big plays in the run game.
Coach, a little bit of a slow start, but the last 6 drives, 6 scores. What did you just remind your guys heading into the 4th quarter in a tough road environment?
Well, the biggest, it's our plan to win. And we're playing our plan to win right now, and we're winning those moments, but it's win the 4th quarter. If we win the 4th quarter, we win the game, and that's a big part of what we got to do right here.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Sometimes it's as easy as that, but how do they do that to stop this run game that's still viable down just 2 scores with 15 minutes left.
Yeah, I just think it continues to come down on their pass rush. And when I say that, you saw how David Bailey was working so hard in the running game. These guys have to keep their ears pinned back and understand that you cannot let up at all.
It's an option pitch, and it's a juggle for Jackson. That was a late pitch. His defense also playing without Skylar Gill-Howard, who is one of those leaders defensively who went out of that Kansas game and has not been back. He's missed the last 4.
Yeah, but when we talked to defensive coordinator Sheil Wood, he told us, you know, Skylar might not be in between the white lines, but as a leader, he has stepped up in a big way to still be there for his teammates. And they talked about it last night. We got to get over this hump of beating this team, especially beating them here in Manhattan. So his leadership has been monumental.
Avery Johnson for Tibbs. Oh, man, what a catch. Brilliant effort.
Just a beautiful job. Watch how he goes up and high points this ball. All the young receivers out there, you see the hand fighting, but at the end of the day, you have to catch that football over the top of your head before the DB has a chance to make the play. And Bryce Pollock, number 14 for Texas Tech, is one of the best DBs in the Big 12 Conference. So that's good on good right there. And Tibbs shows up big for Avery Johnson in this offense when they need him the most.
Junior year state title game in high school, 225 yards for Tibbs, who's in motion here. It's another run for Avery Johnson. He's inevitable. It's a touchdown. There is a marker in. We'll see if it stands.
69, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's on Taylor Portier. In his 7th year of college football, called for the hold.
Yeah, Taylor Portier, you're going to see him right here. The flow gets both Jacob Rodriguez and the safety to come inside, and he's working on Lee Hunter, and that turn right there is what they called on him right here. He's got the shoulder pad. That is clearly a hold. You can hear the boos in the stadium, but on this one, the refs got it right.
Yeah, it's a really good call. It's at the point of attack. It materially changed the play. But still, Texas Tech's got to find a way to stop that quarterback run game.
Now they motion everyone out. No one goes with them, so they know they've got zone coverage here.
Johnson to throw to the sideline. Jackson gets clocked. Wisniewski, it's incomplete. Jackson put it on the ground. He did not hang on. He thought he did.
Oh, my goodness. Just listen to this hit, everybody. Violent game of football that they are playing out there. Some people might have said, hey, what about targeting?
Yeah.
And I know that's what they're clamoring about right now. He did hit him with his shoulder, but it turns into a defenseless receiver conversation about whether or not the receiver had an opportunity.
They're going to stop it now.
To make a play.
Chris Kleiman, he said, how about targeting?
Yeah, and you'll see right here, after this catch, the receiver is still protected. So that contact right there to the helmet and neck area with the launch, I don't know if he caught that pass either.
They could be looking at 2 things, right? There's targeting possibility, and then there's also the possible catch. He did not complete the catch, it didn't look like. And the question is it forcible contact to the head or neck area? Where is the contact in the strike spot?
Yeah, and you see it right here. It's the shoulder, but it's still contact to the head and neck area.
Right, he did hit him in the face mask, it looked like. Which,
so,
yeah.
This is the question to me of, has he been able to get out of the defenseless receiver position? I don't think he has.
Yeah, by the letter, I don't think so either. Let's see what Mike Pereira thinks. Mike, what do you see here?
Well, this is 2 things they have to look at on this play. Number 1, is it a catch? Did he control the ball with the knee down when he was going to the ground? Did the ball pop out, which we can see clearly that it did. The targeting aspect, to me, I don't really like it because it's shoulder, pretty much shoulder to shoulder. Is there a glance off the helmet? Yeah, there is, but it really doesn't fit into what they're looking for, in my opinion, in the NCAA for targeting at this point. So I think basically, I would think that the call would stay as it was, as an incomplete pass.
If we did find out, Mike, that the contact, and we're kind of parsing the replays, if we did find out that the contact was into the face mask rather than the shoulder, would you like it for targeting?
If he led into the face mask, I would say, but when he does everything he can to turn away from it, I think when you're looking at flagrant hits, which is what we're talking about in targeting, I don't think I would put it in that category. But this has been a difficult day in terms of what we think and what they think with instant replay, so we'll just have to see.
Mike, thank you. Appreciate your insight as always. It is a very close play, and as Mike's talking, we've seen a couple replays. It's kind of column A, column B of where the contact was. Was it shoulder or was it looked like face mask from one of the looks, Robert? What do you see?
It did look like face mask from one of the looks, but Mikey P's been all over it all day, and that's where when we're up here having to have these conversations about not really knowing what they're seeing because of some of the calls, imagine what the people at home are saying.
I know.
So that looked like it was targeting defenseless receiver, shot to the face mask.
If it was the face mask.
If it was the face mask, and as far as I could see, it looked like the first contact was with the face mask, not the shoulder.
See what the replay booth says.
There were two elements of the play that were reviewed. After review, there is no foul for targeting. Also, after review, the receiver did complete the process of the catch. His forward progress was driven backwards, and he lost the ball when he hit the ground. It is a catch at the 8-yard line.
Whoa.
It'll be second down, Kansas State at the 8-yard line.
All right. Almost looks like they went 0 for 2 there, Jason.
You heard what Mike said. I would have definitely, by some of the plays that we see in the teaching tape that Mike sends weekly, I would have definitely said no catch.
Right.
Because he didn't complete the catch all the way down.
Correct.
But we talk for a living, which is great, because being the replay official for a game like this sounds like an awful idea as a job. Second down and goal. No targeting. Couple of tight ends in, including Lofton. There's Oakley in motion. It's a handoff for Jackson, and he is wrangled almost immediately by Lee Hunter. It's a loss of 1, and it's third goal.
Yeah, you don't see very many 330-pound guys that can move like Lee Hunter right here. Goes with the center, cuts through the two of them, and then still is able to get back to the running back. I mean, come on, man. There's guys on Sundays that wish they had this type of athleticism at 330 pounds like Lee Hunter does. That was impressive.
Transferred from UCF by way of Auburn. He spent a year at Auburn, did not play. Then UCF, where he was very productive. Third and goal, Kansas State. It's a low snap. Johnson plucks it, throws it to the end zone. What a jumping catch by Oakley for a touchdown. There's a marker in as well, back at the 14. But Garrett Oakley, the tight end, went to the top of the mountain.
What a play.
Romello Height is down on the play as well. There's a lot going on here. A tremendous pass rusher. Height is down on the ground. Oakley has a touchdown for now. It would be the 12th of his Kansas State career. Chris Kleiman waiting for word from the officiating crew. The crowd is slightly restless about the adjudicators today.
After discussion, there is no foul for holding. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Oh, boy. It's a touchdown at 29-20.
Just a really nice job here. Garrett Oakley, Avery Johnson, hey, he picks up the snap right, doesn't panic, makes the throw, and then you can see, just watch how Oakley goes up, high points this ball, used in that big 6'5" frame to come down with that touchdown pass over a corner. That is a play that he's making on Dante Balfour, number 20. You don't see many tight ends that can win those matchups.
A high school basketball player back in the day. They're going to go for 2 right now to make it 7. They're going to do it early here, see what they can come up with. Brown in motion. Avery Johnson climbing the pocket, turning left. Johnson sees Bailey, has to jump throw in end zone, incomplete. Now you're down 2 scores with 12:44 to go, but at least you know is the thinking here.
Get your defense back on the field, but plays like that shift the momentum back to the other team, and we both know that football is a momentum game.
Hudson on the return to try to wrestle some of that momentum. Will be across the 25, and it's time now for Above and Beyond. It's sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Texas Tech has had some big plays in the run game. So has Kansas State. The guy in the middle, Jacob Rodriguez, has flipped this game with his turnover creation.
Yeah, his turnover creation has helped Texas Tech get the ball, not just get the ball back, but get their offense back in rhythm. And this graphic is perfect because it's felt like all day it's been everyone on the Texas Tech Raiders side versus Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson is playing his tail off, and it's great to see him emerging and back to just playing football, not trying to play quarterback. That's something I've always hit on. Just go out there and take what the defense is giving you.
Jacoby Williams on the run, and he's stonewalled by Rowan Manning. It'll be second down coming up. Kansas State would love to have a 3-and-out here against this formidable rush offense for Texas Tech. Top 30 in rush offense, top 15 in pass offense. They score 43 points a game, and they're hanging around right there again.
And this is typically where you see Texas Tech go to more of that running game to try to close games out. I know there's 12 minutes left on the clock, but they understand how hard it is to win here, and they have to stay committed to that run game.
They've run 20 more plays in Kansas State in this game, and there's Williams carving. Jacoby Williams shakes pain and gets across the 40-yard line. There's a 33-yard run right on cue.
And they're going to pull both the center and the right guard, Sheridan Wilson and Davion Carter. Watch them get on the train tracks and get up there in front of Jacoby Williams. And this guy is so fast, man. He is just a blur out there on the field.
Injured player is Asen Newsome for Kansas State, but you know, Taj Brooks is the leading rusher of all time at Texas Tech. He left after last year, and now they have Cameron Dickey and Jacoby Williams, who are Jacoby Williams.
Yeah, and I just wanted to bring back this stiff arm he put on VJ Payne. I mean, hit him with the stiffy. Super strong for a 180-pound running back to do that to a 210-pound safety. Man.
That's not a good way to spend your Saturday. There's a handoff for Dickey hitting the hole, and he gets turned around by Cobb. A really hard hitter today. It's a gain of 1. But look, Texas Tech has run the ball 36 times today. At some point, that wears down a defense.
Yeah, and you're seeing it now. Early in the game, it was a little bit harder to get these yards. Now they're pulling more guys out in front, leaning on guys, and the holes are getting a lot bigger. That's part of that thought process of if we stay committed to the run game early, it'll pay us dividends in the fourth quarter. And right now, that's exactly what it's doing for Texas Tech. One-on-one on the outside.
Morton wants it all. Virgil, incomplete. Fortenberry on the coverage, 3rd and 9.
And right here, Reggie Virgil really could have helped himself by going late hands. He jumped to bring this in because the ball was just slightly behind him. That's where we tell him, hey, slow down that speedometer just a little bit, get that DB on your back, and you can late hands and make that catch like he did earlier in the game.
You know, we heard from Joey McGuire about Mac Leftwich, and sometimes he'll get on a headset and feel like they've got him, right? We're going to go tempo, we got him. So the fact that they went to the line, maybe that fatigue hasn't set in, at least according to the body language. Now they're stuck with a 3rd and 9. And we'll get a timeout. Texas Tech.
Texas Tech takes their first charge timeout of the half.
On Fox, Joe Klanderman playing without one of his best pass rushers, Toby Osinsami. They haven't generated much. 3rd and 9 here. They'll bring 5 and not get there. Morton's high anyway, and Fortenberry dodges a flag. It is 4th down.
When you don't have a true rusher that can create that pressure, you bring it from the second level, and then you're going to see Fortenberry right here. His feet are calm. He breaks on the ball, gets there maybe about the same time the ball does. Ref doesn't call it, but he's competitive at the catch point, and that's the most important thing. Having your eyes on the ball, and you see Baron Morton saying, hey, man, he got there early. Call those bang-bang plays. Yep. And on that one, they didn't throw it.
They're going to punt here on 4th and 9 from the 37.5. Instead of kicking the 50-plus field goal to make it 12, it would still be a 2-score game. They're going to punt, and it better be a good one. And it is. It's inside the 15, but it's still, I mean, you're still talking about 25 yards or so.
Yep. Make them drive the length of the field. And I agree with you. If that thing's not at the 10 or close to it, it's not worth it. You might as well go ahead and go for it.
Yeah. Here's the standings. Here's what's in play right now. Houston lost earlier to West Virginia in a shocker. Arizona State beat Iowa State, hanging around without Sam Leavitt. BYU, Cincinnati, Texas Tech are the top 3, but Texas Tech plays BYU next week. Yep. And so they have a chance to really make their own way into the Big 12 title game.
Yeah, if in K-State, you look at them there, 3-2. If they are able to win this game, that puts them at 4-2, and they're sitting there right there in a tie for 3rd in the Big 12.
Yep.
I mean, there's so much riding on this game in this crazy competitive Big 12 league.
Here comes Bailey around the corner. Johnson with a run. Avery Johnson to the 30. All day long. This one to the left instead of the right, but same play.
It's a quarterback draw, and what he's doing is he's seeing this over here. Watch how the holes shift as the play goes. Rebello Heights coming all the way around. Boom. He gets right back to the, hey, you want to go over there? Guess what? I know that speed can get me there, unless he's not the biggest guy, but he gets to full speed quickly, almost off the first step, which is a very special trait to have and very hard to defend.
There's an injured player, Robert. It's Ben Roberts down on the field, the tremendous junior linebacker who's been a starter the last couple of years. He opened 23 as a backup and then eventually led them in tackles that same year. They are very deep at the linebacker position for Sheil Wood, who you saw moments ago, the defensive coordinator. So Roberts will be off for this play at least.
So they brought in number 1, A.J. McCarty, and moved John Curry, their normal star, back inside the box to replace Ben Roberts.
Yeah, McCarty sort of a nickel. There is Johnson to throw coming this way. That's a long throw to the sideline for Moise, the freshman. I mean, hash mark to hash mark. This would be wide splits in college football. Tell everybody how long these throws are.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to the NFL, you realize how much tighter those hashes are. But in college football, I mean, you're talking about throwing the ball almost 30 to 40 yards across the field from hash mark all the way to the sideline. You can really show off your arm strength, and Avery Johnson did that there.
2nd down and 4 for him. Another short set, and that could be interference. Pollock came crashing into Brown. I thought maybe a flag would come out. He was trying to jump the route and pick it off.
Yeah, if Baron Morton thought the one from K-State was early, watch this one right here. Bryce Pollock is going to fire down on this out route, and he hits him before the ball even gets there. Only thing I could say is maybe the ref saw that it was uncatchable. Right. That was a really high throw. I think Avery Johnson was being safe knowing that he made the wrong read. Don't make a bad play worse than just Hail Mary out of bounds.
Agreed. Roberts is back in, by the way. You see him up at the line, Ben Roberts. And it's a Johnson run. He's going to try the outside, step through one from Pollock, and tiptoe to the sideline. Let's see where the spot is. He is very close to the line to gain. It looks like he has it. 1st down.
Yeah, look at him. That speed, he's not even supposed to be able to make this play, break that tackle, and get around Jacob Rodriguez. But because he's one of the fastest dual threats in the country, ball security there. Ball almost came out. He tiptoes down the sideline. There's one thing you just can't coach, and it's speed, and he has it.
Rodriguez might be feeling it a little bit there, but he is a tough customer. 1st down. Johnson rolling to the right. And Johnson will take it out of bounds. Wisniewski ushers him out. It was A.J. Holmes providing the pressure that time. Replacement for Gil Howard.
And you can see Avery Johnson got the hands on the hips a little bit, and he's not trying to dip when you dip, I dip. He is saying to himself, man, I am running a lot. I got to make sure I control my breathing. My team needs me in these moments, so no matter how many times I have to run the football, I'm willing to do it. But this is when your offensive coordinator has to come in and say, all right, I need to give him a play or two to get his win back.
But that play is a throw for him, and now he has to scramble. He'll set up Bailey charging after him. Throw it out wide. It's Jackson, and he is wrapped up by Curry. Boy, Texas Tech just doesn't miss tackles a whole lot at all. As a little chippiness between Portier and Curry. A little spice from Curry.
Little spice from Curry. I see what you did there, sir. And you can see Avery Johnson again. He's breathing heavy, just breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And what this Tech defense does so well is even when they don't get sacks, they make the quarterback move off of his spot. Yep. And that is where Avery is probably saying to himself, man, I feel like I'm running for my life back here. He's done that little spin move a couple times in the open field, but it has been effective.
Quick throw, got it for Tibbs, short. He'll be a yard short at the 50-yard line. It is 4th and 1 for Kansas State, and the biggest play of the day for the Wildcats right now.
Yeah, and this is where we haven't mentioned this guy being out the entire game, Dylan Edwards, their star running back, but you want to go for it here, and you would think, oh, just run the football downhill. You don't have a quarterback that's the best short yardage running quarterback, and do you trust your running back, Joe Jackson, to go out and get this? I say keep the ball in the hands of your best player and go get that 1 yard.
Swanson, Oakley, couple of tight ends in. 4th and 1. It is the quarterback. Johnson trying to get to the outside. It's Pollock to trip him up, and Texas Tech holds the line. The tackle he missed earlier on the drive, not this time.
And just look at, we call this population to the football. Watch all these guys on the interior close the gaps and then rally to the outside. Bryce Pollock, the corner. Who said corners don't tackle? Right here, Avery Johnson, as I said, not the biggest running quarterback. He tried to go to his speed, and that was the detriment of that run.
So if you think about the trickle down of Texas Tech's pass rush, right, it forces you into passing downs. We talked about that, but the trickle down is of the fatigue of a quarterback. When you're looking for a quick drop, give Avery Johnson a blow, as you said. For a moment, that 2nd down play when he had to scramble may have caused that play.
Correct.
So 1st down, Texas Tech. And Dickey puts it on the ground. Oh, my goodness gracious. Ryan Davis takes it back for Kansas State. Looked like Eli Leo crowbarred it free.
And you're going to see Eli Leo right here in the middle get off of the center and get to Dickey before he's ready. Knocks the football out. And there you see it. Ryan Davis right here, the back. He goes for the stiff arm and his hand on the ball. Eli Leo wasn't even trying to punch that ball out. It just happened to bounce in K-State's way.
Oh, the Big 12. And immediately his quarterback goes over to talk to Cam Dickey and say, we got you. But that's up to the defense right now.
Correct. The defense is in a sudden change moment now. Hey, you get a good stop. Well, you're back out there on the field. What are you going to do about it? This is where you play complementary football and pick your offense back up in Cameron Dickey after they make a mistake.
Avery Johnson told us earlier this year he has learned over the course of his college football career the value of each possession. This one has a microscope on it now. Hunter's after him this time. He spins out of it again, and he throws it to the bench. That's the better decision there. It's 2nd down.
Just an extremely smart decision right there from Avery Johnson. And I think people have noticed since the bye week that he has gradually improved as a passer and in using his feet as a runner. And I found out that he's been working with Patrick Mahomes' quarterback coach, Bobby Stroup, here in Kansas City. And really every single week, virtually and in person, working on all the things that he needs to be better and reinforcing in his mind why he is a dynamic quarterback. And it is because of his ability to move the chains with his legs.
Jackson out of the backfield fell. He had a little more to get, but he falls, and it's 3rd down and long for Kansas State. Let me ask you, fatigue for a quarterback, where do you see it in Avery Johnson right now, and how does it affect what Sheil Wood does with his play calls?
You see it in the accuracy.
Yeah.
When a quarterback starts to fatigue, especially a guy who is a dual threat, they're running, and they're not just running to run, they're running to make throws as well. The accuracy starts to drop just a little bit. Sheil Wood can't call a defense that's going to stop the special traits that Avery Johnson has, so he just has to suck it up here for the next 6 minutes and go make plays.
Here comes Bailey again around that corner, got a hand on him. Johnson giving a lot of ground. Avery Johnson loads it out, middle of the field, incomplete for Tibbs. Bryce Pollock is everywhere.
He really is, and you just asked me, like, hey, how do you defend against this? Watch, David Bailey leading the country in sacks, moves out of the way like he's not even there. These are plays that, as a defensive coordinator, you don't have an answer for, but look at that finish there at the end. They are going to hit him as much as they can, and this is where the rest of the K-State players have to step up for their quarterback. He's out there giving it their all. Tibbs has to make that catch.
Instead, it's 4th and 7. They've got to have these 3 timeouts. They got to snap it here fast.
And this has been their guy right here, Garrett Oakley.
Looking that way. Johnson got it that way. And it's incomplete. He couldn't hang on. John Curry knocked it free. It is incomplete. And Texas Tech again stonewalls K-State.
And you're going to see he's going to outside release and run this out route. And it's a great ball from Avery Johnson. We said, hey, who needs to step up? Garrett Oakley. You get off the ball, you got to make this catch. You're past the line, you got to finish it all the way to the ground. But when you talk about making big-time plays, John Curry, Johnny on the spot, attacks the hands as soon as the ball comes in. Amazing job by Texas Tech getting off the field there.
Curry, the Lubbock native, did not give up on the play, right? He almost had 2 bites at the apple there on getting the hand in to make the play, and it's just, they are loaded with playmakers.
They are, and Jason, your point there is a great one, and I want everyone at home to listen to that. Some guys would complain, hey, he pushed off, what am I supposed to do? John Curry didn't complain. He went and finished that play, and it's always about how you finish.
Kobe Williams hit by Payne. 2nd down coming up. Kansas State 3 timeouts. They won't use them yet. Texas Tech, is there a knockout punch here for this offense is the question.
Well, I'm so glad you asked that, Jason, because they've been running the football so effectively, right? You had the fumble there on the last drive, so maybe a little wary of running the ball, but now K-State is in a dire situation, so they're going to play more man coverage. So get the ball to your big guys on the outside, Caleb Douglas, Reggie Virgil. Even if they split out Terrence Carter Jr. and get him isolated with a linebacker, those are the matchups that they want. Right here, you got Terrence Carter Jr. in the slot.
Yep. Linebacker over him, now safety. It is Williams to the outside. Williams is stood up behind Ponton, the tackle, who couldn't roll off Moss. It is 3rd down coming up. He got taken to the sideline. Clock is stopped for the moment because it's a timeout called by Kansas State. They have 2 remaining, and it's time for a game summary sponsored by Pacific Life. A little cold to take a dip. Building confident futures for nearly 160 years.
Yeah, and you talk about getting the ball to Jacoby Williams. He's going to, boom, hit the defender in the back, tell him to get out my way. That man's got more moves than the military family, finding his way all the way to the end zone. And then, of course, again, the speed of Avery Johnson just making plays in the open field. And then Baron Morton and Caleb Douglas being on the same page, going a little off script right there. This game has been a dynamic one. You've seen catches like this from Garrett Oakley on the high points. And then, of course, you got Avery Johnson trying to get it back to Garrett Oakley, and the ball gets broken up. This has been a wild, wacky game with a lot of wild, wacky calls. Oh, yeah. But that's exactly what the Big 12 has been.
All year, all last year, such close games, such a wild, fun league. I will say Texas Tech trying to build this very special season. Last time they won here was 2008. Michael Crabtree, phenomenal. He and Graham Harrell. The last time they beat Kansas State anywhere was 10 years ago. I mean, at some point in seasons like this, the magic extends even to series that typically don't go your way. Dickey breaks a tackle, keeps his feet, and then runs to the sideline. He's out of bounds on the run. He'll lose 2 on the play. Because it's at the moment of 5 minutes plus, they'll be forced to call a timeout. It's their second timeout. Later in the game, being out of bounds would be an issue. So 1 timeout left for K-State. It'll be 4th and 7. This is the last time Texas Tech won in this series. You mentioned Patrick Mahomes. He was playing at the time, and there were 103 points in the game. Now do you feel right in the world that the Big 12 has 103 points on your television screen?
I mean, Jason, that's the Big 12 I remember. Okay. We used to score a lot of points in this conference. Really across the board, there wasn't much defense, but that's why I think the Big 12 has ascended in its national standing, despite what the haters might say. It's because their ability to play defense now. They still have the same playmakers outside, but these defenses are much tougher to score on.
How often do you talk to the haters as a group?
As a group?
Yeah, do you convene them?
Daily, because, you know, everybody has a role in life, and you got to let the haters play their role.
Yeah, it's a punt. Burgess gets it away. The fair catch at the 12. Lockett pulls it in. 5 minutes to go. Avery Johnson has had a couple of possessions on short fields. Texas Tech has stood very tall. What do you want to see play call-wise with 1 timeout, 5 minutes, and a 2-score game?
Yeah, first of all, I want to see them continue to spread the field and give Avery Johnson running lanes vertically. Sometimes when you say, hey, run the quarterback, people want to use his speed and run him sideline to sideline. That's not what it needs to be. He's a smaller built guy. Give him the passing lanes, allow him to see the field, give his receivers those deep choice routes that they love to run, and then if it's not there, then he can get out and get jiggy with it.
Certainly, he's got the ability. Like Chris Kleiman says, pre-snap to post-snap is where the improvement has grown the most for Avery Johnson. So if he sees something he likes, he has the ability to do that. He's backed up here. Here comes Height. LaMelo Height drags him down. Ball is free. It's a scoop and score for Curry. Touchdown, Texas Tech.
Oh, my goodness. Talk about primetime players, make primetime plays in primetime moments. Right there, LaMelo Height showing you exactly that. Can't wait to diagram that one for you guys after this extra point.
They just wear out offensive tackles.
Man.
He and Bailey together, there is no hiding. And we talk about skill position players as being playmakers. And you talk about an offense that has an array of playmakers. And you're like, wow, how does anybody stop that? This defense has a laundry list of playmakers who can make game-changing plays for Texas Tech. They got 20 points off turnovers today.
Unbelievable. And you're going to see LaMelo Height is here at the top of the screen, and he's going to get to the quarterback in a hurry.
Like that fast.
That fast. Gets around the tackle, gets to the quarterback as he tries to get out of the pocket. Boom. Goes for the ball because he knows he's got the sack. When you get the fumble and the forced fumble and the sack, they both count. And then, of course, John Curry right there. I want every defender to watch what this man does, because it bothers me to my core when I see guys jump on the ball when they have an easy scoop and score opportunity. Trust your ball skills. You played baseball when you were younger. Scoop and score that bad boy and go get your touchdown.
See, you believe in other positions.
I do.
It's nice.
It's not just the quarterbacks out there.
I will say, though, like, people talk about Texas Tech and the transfers and the NIL deals and all these guys coming from different places. They have a bunch of guys who stayed.
Yes.
Right? They have Jacob Rodriguez, who did transfer in, but much earlier from Virginia. He is a mainstay in this program. But John Curry is a local product from down the road, Lubbock, Coronado.
Yep.
It is not just a collective of guys from elsewhere coming into this organization. It's John Curry, a local product, who's made this now a much bigger score. Don't forget, by the way, Game 7 of the World Series is on after this ball game. It's the Blue Jays, it's the Dodgers, it's Shohei Ohtani on the mound. You never know what's going to happen in that series. After last night and the crazy finish, it is for everything. And Texas Tech right now has a Big 12 championship on their mind, and frankly, a championship in college football.
This is what they came to do, to get this monkey off their back and prove to themselves that
This isn't going to be the same old Texas Tech that keeps falling to Kansas State. And you brought up the point about the guys that came in. Like, how many teams across the country are paying guys and bringing in all these transfers and not seeing success? I think it's a testament to Joey McGuire and the culture that he has been able to build at Texas Tech in such a short time, that these guys come in and they don't just play well. They play better than they've ever played anywhere else.
That's right. It's a really good point. Talking to Jacob Rodriguez about it, he said Romello Height is one of the most loyal players he's ever been around. There's another big hit by Wisniewski on Oakley. But, I mean, when you hear a guy is the most loyal player who's been to multiple different schools, I think it paints transfers in a totally different light. And the best version of transfers is when somebody goes and finally finds the best version of themselves because of their coaches, because of Sheil Wood, the defensive coordinator, and C.J. Ayu, the linebacker coach, who they speak so highly of.
Hey, don't clap to you.
And you talk about Romello Height. You see him lined up there going after the quarterback again. David Bailey almost gets him.
Avery Johnson escapes, and that's batted away. I mean, like a volleyball spike by Rodriguez, playing libero.
And listen, it's a 16-point game. It's a two-score game, and you see C.J. Ayu right there, and all of the players. You talk about even Baron Morton, the quarterback, talking about what this man has done for this pass rush, and it's not just David Bailey and Romello Height. It's also Lee Hunter and A.J. Holmes Jr. up front, and what he has them doing in practice, even in special teams periods, to work on all the different things they have to do to get after the quarterback. It's just truly amazing what he's been able to accomplish with these young players.
There's a pass rush again, and it's an interception. Roberts gets his on a pick down the sideline. Curry had the better angle at the scoop and score, so Roberts led it for him, and Roberts gets a piece of the pie late.
Wow. And you're going to see Ben Roberts, he's right here on the end line of the scrimmage. He's going to drop back and attack. Watch as Avery Johnson moves that way. He moves with him. His eyes take him right to the ball, and he throws it right to him. Avery just never saw him. And this is where any quarterbacks that are out there watching, when the game gets late and it feels like, man, I got to try everything I can do to get us in position, you see the excitement from Texas Tech and just the disappointment from Avery Johnson. Young QBs, don't make a bad situation worse.
Yeah.
If you got to see the whole field, if you're scrambling out and that throw, you can't throw that ball like he's 5 yards in front of you. You got to layer it over the top. There, Avery didn't. And Ben Roberts is celebrating because of it.
It's not just physical fatigue, though, right? It's mental fatigue as well, as Williams on the run. But we were talking about C.J. Ayu and talking to Jacob Rodriguez and Baron Morton. They both said one of his superpowers is that he presents the same information to different guys totally differently based on how they learn. It's a very specific, nuanced way of teaching you don't hear about every football coach.
Yeah, and as a former player, those are the kind of coaches that you go harder for because you feel like they know you at your core. Hey, it doesn't mean that you can't yell at a guy, you can't say this, you can't challenge him, but there's different ways to challenge guys, and he seems to know the why for every single one of his players, and that's how he attacks, helping them get better.
You see the stunned look for Avery Johnson. Here is Dickey on the run, trying to tunnel through. It'll be third down coming up, and just down the road a piece. What a game coming up. All the marbles in Major League Baseball. Baron Morton wants another touchdown for the road, and he's got it for Douglas, who finds his own camera on a touchdown.
Hey, JB, we talked about it. Hey, late in the game, you're going to get those one-on-one matchups. Watch Caleb Douglas right here. He wins it at the line of scrimmage. Hit him with that stiffy right there with the leg, and then late hands. We keep talking about these things for wide receivers. Win at the line of scrimmage, keep some space on the sideline for your quarterback, and when the ball comes in, never let the DB know it's coming. That was picture-perfect execution from those two.
Extra point is good. I mean, Baron Morton hasn't been on the field for a couple weeks. They do need to get him some reps here.
Yeah, and you see that throw. You can even see his reaction after the throw. You know when a quarterback loves it. Look at him. He's feeling it. I don't know what dance that is. I don't think he knows what it is either.
He doesn't.
But it looks good.
It was so interesting talking to Baron Morton about his story. We've spent some time with him a few times this year and in years past as well. But Baron Morton grew up the son of a coach. And over the process of the conversation, at one point, he said, yeah, I got opportunity. People said it was about my dad, you know, and he just kind of glossed over it. And we doubled back to it. And he was like, yeah, I heard that a ton growing up. And I knew that I needed to play well because of that. Like, he doesn't want to be handed anything and is pretty clear about that. And I think there's, in a young person, you don't hear that as definitively and as confidently about who he is as we heard it from Baron Morton.
I agree. I agree with you completely, and it's a rare thing, as you talked about, and we're going to get to this Baron Morton, of what he's been able to do today, just getting the ball out, getting back into the flow, you know, just freely getting his eyes to these throws, making throws on the move, making off-schedule plays, being willing to, you know what, the play's not right, we're going to make it right. He's been an eraser today, and that's what offensive coordinator Matt Leftwich said. When I call a play, I have less fear when Baron Morton is on the field, because even if it's not right, he's going to make us right. Yep. And I think the fact that Baron feeds off of the negativity of people saying he's only got this because of that, and his dad this and his dad that, he accepts that criticism and doesn't run away from it. That's a very special quality. And for a team that's trying to get over the hump like they did today in Manhattan and trying to go out and accomplish their dreams of winning a Big 12 and going to the college football playoff,
dancing, by the way.
This is the kind of guy you want leading you all the way. That level of swagger. Look at that smile. That's a 100-watt smile, and he has every reason to have it today.
Jacob Knuth is in to play quarterback for Kansas State, and he hands it off for Rice again. Baron Morton and Jacob Rodriguez are connected as well. Baron Morton's freshman roommate was Jacob Rodriguez's best friend from high school. They've known each other for a while now, and they're trying to build this thing from the ground up for Texas Tech together.
I thought it was funny when he said, you know, they're in high school going against these teams, and Baron Morton found out that his team was like, yeah, there's this Mexican over at
Texas Tech has been one of the best in college football. Jacob Rodriguez and his defense has been brilliant once again, creating turnovers and havoc. And here is Rice on the run. He is stood up by Bryce Ramirez, another longtime Texas Tech linebacker. And that BYU game coming up is going to be one of the top games in the Big 12 this year.
Yes, it is. And you're talking about a quarterback in Bear Bachmeier for BYU that has really the entire country in a chokehold. We've called 2 of their games over the past 3 weeks. They're a team that hasn't really played a full 60 minutes yet. But now with Texas Tech having their quarterback back and having this type of performance against a very hot Kansas State team, it adds even more intrigue to that matchup next week.
For the top of the table in the Big 12, Aiken with a fair catch. We've got $1:17 to go. Texas Tech will kneel down a couple of times. You know, Kansas State had a chance to jump back into this Big 12 race. They have fought hard for Chris Kleiman, but Texas Tech was overwhelming defensively today. I wonder, we saw Ohio State earlier today, right? And Joel and Gus talked a lot about their defense as well. Baron Morton's having a great time right now over on the sideline. Sorry, I was distracted. The best defense discussion in college football is a really difficult one.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, Ohio State and what they've been able to do offensively when you have Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith at wide receiver, it feels like they can do whatever they want on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, I still lean a little bit more towards Texas Tech, especially after today's performance. Coming into this game, I was like, either one of the best. I don't know if they are the best. But after today, how this offense for Texas Tech struggled and the defense kept them in it. And Jacob Rodriguez, I mean, we're going to have a serious discussion about whether or not Jacob Rodriguez and David Bailey should be in the conversation for the Heisman Trophy.
Really?
Yes.
This is a special day for Jacob Rodriguez, by the way. He got to go home, see the house that he and Emma bought and renovated. An extra bounce today for him. But you see, I mean, we just cut to
Rodriguez and Bailey and Romello Height. Like, this is a loaded defense led by Rodriguez, but they have all sorts of names getting Texas Tech its first win against Kansas State in 10 years. Game 7 of the World Series is next from Toronto. For our entire crew, for Robert and Alexa, I'm Jason. Game 7, Dodgers and Blue Jays right now after this.